assessment of the transformer. The session chair is Mr. Ashwini Jain, and the time for next session in toto is 90 minutes. So in the 90 minutes we have 4 speakers and then a Q&A too.
I request everyone to kindly be seated on your places. We are starting this session immediately. Yeah. I request Mr. Ashwini. One more. Yeah, I'll just. Yeah. No problem, sir. Yes, good afternoon everyone and welcome back after the lunch session. We will be starting our session now. This will be chaired by Mr. Ashwini Jain, and I would like Mr. Ashwini Jain sir to kindly take over.
I will borrow 2 minutes. जब तक आप वो देख लीजिए. You have received feedback forms. If some of you have not received the feedback forms, our volunteer will come. You will get a copy. Kindly fill those feedback forms. At the end of the day, we will have lucky draw on these feedback forms. Your feedbacks are very important for us to organize next Trafo Care in more organized manner. Thank you.
Hello. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So I think you had a good lunch and now we are ready to go for the session number 7. So session number 7, it is categorized as health indexing and transformer health management. And the first section, session would be delivered by Mr. Sukalyan Ghosh from CSC, and the topic is CSC maintenance practices to optimize lifetime utilization of transformers, and we request that the session be completed in 15 minutes, maximum 15 minutes.
Good afternoon. I am Sukalyan from CSC, Sukalyan Ghoshal. First of all, thanks to the organizers of this very nice event, and that I have been able to come and speak before the August speakers and august people who are long in this business. Um, Here I will give a very brief sketch about our maintenance practice in CSC of power transformers. So to start with, which one is working? Right. Oh. Anyway, can you please change the slide for me? Okay, fine. Thank you. These are my content. And this is CSC in brief. We operate in Kolkata and Howrah region. Our license area is 567 square kilometers. And we used to generate from in a legacy way, we used to generate from quite a few thermal power stations near and out Kolkata. But presently, we are generating at our Bojbaj generating station. And we also have two units running at our southern generating station, which actually is a support system for the entire generation capacity for us. We mainly run with the help of our Bojbaj units. And this is our consumer base, as you can see it there. And this is how CSC started. Actually, CSC is the first company in India which started generation and distribution in India in a small area around Kolkata. It was incorporated in England. Until 1970, we were under our administration was directly looked after from England. After 1970, we was taken over by the RPG group, and later on our the group name RPG, it was changed to RPSG. It was in 2016. And this is a view of our distribution network. As you can see, these are, this is the distribution network. We have 220 kV and 132 kV lines, and we have import from Haldia, which is a subsidiary of RPSG group, and we import from WBSETCL also. We have 116 distribution stations. These distribution stations have multiple, and in some cases, single transformers, which are 33 kV by 11 or 6 kV. And there are 17 substations. The substations are where we have 220 kV or 132 kV transformers. And we have distribution transformers in this entire network area. As on date, the number of distribution transformers is a little more than 8,500. And we have RMUs also, 33 kV and 6 and 11 kV RMUs. And this is the energy flow diagram of CSC. The same thing in a different manner, the same what we have seen in the last slide. And this is the most important part which I will talk about briefly in my presentation. This is the fleet of our power transformers. So you see we have 12 number 220 kV transformers. These transformers are about 10 years of age. We have 41 numbers of 132 kV by 33 kV transformers, and about 10 of them are of more than 50 years age. And we have 132 by 33 by 6 kV transformers. These are comparatively new. These were installed in 2016. And there are other transformers. And and there are 33 kV transformers. There are two categories of 33 kV transformers you can see from the slide. 33 by 11 by 6 kV transformers. These are 149 numbers. And we have 33 by 6 kV transformers, explicitly 6 kV. We have 68 numbers of them in our system. And these transformers this fleet of transformers, 33 by 6 kV transformers, few of them are running from I think at the time of 1970 or something like that. So far I can remember right now, we have English Electric, couple of English Electric transformers. One is, the oldest one we have in our system is 80 years till date. And there may be a few, 2 or 3 or maybe 5, I can't remember the exact number right now. They are 50 to 60 years of age. So, and there are 3 special kind of transformers you can see. 6 by 33 kV transformers. These transformers were installed to cater exclusively to the jute mills in the area where this station is located. These transformers are also more than 60 years or so. And they are still operative there because there are a few jute mills, a few industries which take power in 3.3 kV. So to manage these kind of transformers, this fleet of transformers with so much variation in a system, it takes rigorous discipline of maintenance. So I'll directly come up to what we do for maintenance of the transformers. These are the preventive maintenance. In fact, I think moisture, what is written here, moisture maintenance, breather, airbag, etc., these are pretty common these days. In fact, since 95, I joined in CSC in 95. So far I remember, all the transformers we have procured have air cells in them. And of course, there are breathers. Cooler circuit maintenance. Some of the old transformers, 20 MVA or 16 MVA, which are 33 by 11 by 6 kV, those transformers used to have cooling fans in them. And all the 132 kV or 220 kV transformers have cooling fans, and also there are a few transformers we have with cooler banks. So the cooling fans and these cooler banks, they require some regular maintenance. And relay maintenance is done by our testing department. That is not only for transformers, that is for the entire system, for switch gears and everything. And cleaning and painting is one part that is done basing on the observations from one department. We have a different department. I think I am from substations department, which is who look after the maintenance. And there is one department, condition monitoring cell. They look after different aspects of the health of the transformers, like whether the tank is rusted, or whether there is overheating or PD. Those things are taken care by them. One major periodic maintenance we carry out with the power transformers is OLTC maintenance. We have all the power transformers fitted with OLTC. Due to strict regulatory mandates, statutes, we have to maintain the voltage within a band. So we have to use OLTCs in our transformers. A few years back, I remember our testing department, they recommend, in fact, not testing department, it was from our end, from the maintenance people, there was a recommendation that the OLTCs are, I mean, there is a lot of wear and tear in the OLTCs due to operation with AVR. So at that time, we discontinued with AVRs. I mean, we kept those isolated from the system. But later on, due to regulations, we once again are rather mandated that we have to put the transformers under AVR. Because all our a few of our stations are manned.
5 minutes. 5 minutes, please.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir. A few of our stations are manned, and not all of them. So we have to depend on AVRs and all those things. For OLTC maintenance, we have regimes. For the M and V type OLTCs, every year we just replace the oils, and we have regimes for different kinds of OLTCs, the CTR, or earlier we used to have Crompton make OLTCs. For those, we carry out thorough maintenance for some every 3 years, and for some every 5 years. And this is a brief overview about our asset management system. We have an asset management system where we get inputs from the condition monitoring cell, their observations. We get inputs in this system. It is not a real-time data acquisition system. We have to operate it manually, offline. We gather data from the sites. We take readings of different parameters from our sites, and we put them in. And included in that is a DGA dashboard. We have oil maintenance laboratory, oil testing laboratory in our in our company. This setup, they are entrusted with the work of sampling oil from all the transformers, all the power transformers in our system every year, every year, and we carry out tests. We carry out DGA also, and those data are manually fed into the system, and we have a dashboard through which we can see the conditions of the oil. And basing on that, we carry out oil filtration, and if we see that filtration is not working, in that case we go for replacement of the entire oil of the system, of the transformers. We also have an health indexing system basing on these data, the data which is being fed and from where we see the data in the DGA dashboard. And one of our recent efforts we have taken, one is we have retrofitted, we have at one time we had 38 Fuller make transformers in our system. We have retrofitted all these Fuller make OLTCs with CTR make EH16 transformers, and we also carry out in situ replacement of V-type transformers, 33 kV voltage rating. And finally, I'll come to the last point, that is bushings. Till 2019, we used to have, not 2019, in fact, we in a few 220 kV transformers that were installed near at about, say, 2014 or 15. At that time, they came with composite insulation bushings, but the rest of the 220 kV and 132 kV transformers, they in the 132 kV side, we have porcelain bushings, that is OIP bushings. And our network is in a very, it's a city area, so it's a congested area. So there are some inherent problems in these OIP bushings, which are mentioned there. Tan delta tends to be higher, and so there is we often have such problems, like especially in the rainy season, or say the first rain after a long dry season, this tracking along the surface of the bushings.
Last 1 minute, please.
Yes.
1 minute, please.
Thank you. I'll complete. And also, they have we have had experience, a bad experience in a couple of occasions. We have seen that the bushings have exploded, maybe due to high PD, or maybe tracking, or maybe after some repeated failure due to short circuit by some external object. There may be internal cracks in the bushings, and they tend to fail. So we have shifted to RIS bushings. We have replaced this, we have started replacing the old OIP bushings with the RIS ones. And we have seen a few, we have started doing this from 2018. And the good thing we have known so far, that is these bushings are non-hydroscopic, and their dielectric loss is very low. We have tested them at site during installation, and they also do not have PD, and the weight is very little, 20%. And of course, they are shatterproof. So these are the good points about these RIS bushings. Those have rather encouraged us to go for RIS bushings in place of, for replacement of OIP bushings. And there is another thing, the OIP bushing has a lower thermal class. It is 105 degree, and RIS bushings are about 120 degree, perhaps, I think so. And so here I come to the end of my presentation. This is what drives us. To take in new technologies, new ideas from everybody. That is one reason why I am here today, to learn from you, to take notes of what you have been said for yesterday and today also. So thank you.
Thank you, Ghoshal sir. So it was a insightful presentation, and since Mr. Ghoshal has a flight to catch, so we would be felicitating him.
Yeah, my apology to everybody, and
So
I
we will
am very
present the
sorry
memento
to
to
the chair.
Ghoshal sir.
I have to leave because my flight is at 5:30 and I have to be at the airport by 4:30, so I have to leave. Sorry.
So our next session would be presented by Dr. Rajaram Shinde on circular economy.
Good afternoon. Oh my God. I got a wrong slot, so the time has come for me to swap my chair and be on this side. So once again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, still आवाज नहीं आ रहा है, खाना थोड़ा सा कम हो गया. I do not hear any sound from backside. This time the noise has to be from backside only. Good afternoon. Awesome, awesome. Okay, I don't have time for presentation. I was told by Chairman Sir that you have to wind up in as early as possible, so I'll try to cover up either 1, 2 or less than 10 minutes. In such a beautiful, colorful and nice environment, I am starting with some black and white slide. So, I always remember one of the sentence used by my friend, that if you really need to understand earthing and grounding, you need to be on ground for that. So let's be on ground and start up. All right, and I have, it's working, okay. My actually presentation purpose is only this slide. There is no other slide for me to present. A lot of people still keep on asking what you do. And to answer few of the questions, there was a lot of discussion. My friend Ashwini also said morning about the losses, 1180. So if at all you have to blame, I am one of that, let's say, gunny pig, where you can blame that I was involved in 1180 development, part 1, part 2, 3, and now 4, along with lot many members sitting here. And recently, for last 2 years, I am one of the board member for IEC to drive a strategy specifically for our area, and some other activities I do. And what I do is that bottom 3 logos, what you can see, where I get my bread and butter. So all 3 is known to you by either this way or that way. You can Google it or see the website and you will find what they do. Okay, the reason for me to present this slide is just to understand our Indian scenario, and yesterday also we saw many updates on what's the power scenario. So we are not a small country now. If it is considered to be a power scenario, we are reasonably large. It comes in the top 3, top 5 countries in the globe. I'll skip this. And what we need to remember here is I'm slightly giving a different angle in addition to our Gyan Sabha, that we are here because someone is making profit. And without profit, if these 3 P are not balanced, then entire ecology or our life is in danger. If we do not care about planet, if we do not care about our people, and if we do not care about the profits, this type of event cannot be made. So I will not get into much detail, but directly move to the subject, and people who have seen some of this one are not allowed to answer. So what does this represent? People who have seen, I have shown this once to some other occasion. Kya hai? Power cord, okay? Anything else? No update? Somebody said. Power on button, okay? Okay, what is this? exit, okay. What is this? My goodness, and this is nothing but a standardization. So this is IEC 60417, another one is 7010 ISO, and third one is IEC 60617. Okay, so what I mean to say by showing this slide is we are surrounded by standardization, and without standardization, living life with a better quality at economical and ecological way is not possible. And whatever we do in a day, the bottle what you have on your table and your drinking water has a standard. It is, you can read the number 14543. What you have having around this building, whether it's a steel, whether it's a rod, whether it's a building material, it has a standard. Whether jewelry, what most of the female friends are wearing, that has a standard. So you name the substance around us, and we are always governed, guided, and surrounded by standard, including the toys we buy for the kids. And when I said that, if we look at our own sustainable, ecological, and nowadays circular economy, many fancy words are coming in a picture. So when we say this, it has a meaning. These are not only said to be a fancy words, and that meaning is nothing but for us to be sustainable, we need to do something. And what is to be done? So there are some says. I'll skip here and quickly move to our goals. So there is a SDG, which we have a strategic goals for IEC as well as BIS. So I'm actively working with them since last couple of years, almost 1.5 decades. So these are the SDGs which are, and we have focus. We have some goals for 2030. We have some goals for 2050. And what we see today, be it a 1180, and now the next series will come, be it a fluid standard, be it a transformer maintenance practice. And recently, someone was having a question about the retrofill yesterday. We started working with IEC TC10 and TC14. This is the first time joint working group is making a standard basically to do a retrofill of the transformer and to check whether the suitability of retrofill is. Thank you, Mamta Rasab. But last time also you left my presentation half. It is a loan on you now. No, I'm sure he will repay it. So, okay. So, the joint working group, which is JWG46, where I'm actively involved, where we are developing a standard for transformer repair, rectification, rehabilitation, overall, and retrofill is going to be a prime focus. Unfortunate part is I was trying to get a convenership to us, but we were financially not strong from the BIS perspective, I'm saying, not from my personal perspective. So the chairmanship and convenership went to China. Sorry, and yes, now let's put this one. What is circular economy? Believe me, in a transformer, everything is possible. Everything can be recirculated and can be reused. So some of the quick points I'll just keep touch on. So this is how we get our power, be it renewable, be it thermal. And I have tried to combine some of the studies we did, how much of the conductor and how much of the steel is used in every power generation and consumption. The figures are on top and the presentation is available. You can get it and read it later. So when transformer fails, what we do? We take out the transformer, we put it on a lorry. This is a live study done in the Europe. So the data what you find is outcome of one of the project. And then what we do is the copper is taken out, electrical steel is taken out, and the fluid is taken out. So far we were always having a lot of negative about the mineral oil because it was Easter day yesterday. But mineral oil, the best part is it can be 99% recycled. That's the beauty of it. There is no scrap unless it gets into a soil. And I still remember, is there anybody from Middle East here? Anyone from UAE or anything? Okay, then I can use this statement. I was in the Middle East and one day I met one of the very powerful customer and I was saying that, sir, mineral oil is not biodegradable and why don't you use other alternative liquids which are biodegradable? And he says, who said it is not biodegradable? We are a country where we produce mineral oil and the mineral oil, if it leaks, it gets into the soil, it goes into the well and we again take it back. So it's a circular economy. So, because they don't produce any vegetables or they don't have a soil to produce or cultivate. So, when we really look at all this material, the mineral oil can be really recycled almost 99%. The natural ester has a limitations to recycle because it can be recycled to the extent of 60 to 70%. We did some of the studies on the transformers which were filled 20 years back. And the best part is it has a fantastic alternate use. The esters can be used to make a biodiesel. It can be used a lot many cosmetic products and so many applications it has. A lot of industrial applications. Whereas the copper and aluminum, copper also 99%, aluminum in case of oil-filled transformer, it gets recycled close to 80-85% because there is a more melting loss in aluminum than the copper. And if you see the carbon neutral or carbon content, the transformer are they are not carbon neutral, but they are very close to circular economy. And one limitation, where even I am part of it, one limitation for the conductor to get recirculate is in the cast coils. That's the reason today everyone prefers in the dry type transformer, low voltage winding shall be a foil, which is a VPI, and it can be retrieved, whereas the high voltage winding people start using aluminum, and that retrieval is a costly affair. So except that limitation, okay, that technology has a fantastic benefit, but that is always negative as against any liquid filled transformer. And we all know the electrical steel, it comes whether it's a BIS applicable, not applicable, but the ground reality is the bigger power transformers are cut. That steel is been converted into smaller isolation transformer or small, let's say, electronic transformers, and it gets reused. And the left out material is sent for the melting, and it gets converted into building steel. And I will come to the conclusion slide before I move to the next is in the circular economy today, specifically in our country when we are having issues related to import. Somebody said we have electrical steel import. My friend has said, in fact. And then copper is also imported. So I'll give a slightly other angle when we go to the losses table. So I move here. And on this part, we need to learn something which we know, and Indians are well known all over the globe for our jugaad technique. It's a low-cost engineering development, or in a Japanese world, you can call them kaizens, or whatever you say. In most language, you can say the removal of bottleneck. But this jugaad technique is much more powerful in the country. It works well. And one of the thought is extract maximum possible from the minimum usage of resource. And that goes 100% against what so far we were talking about the efficiency and losses. So if we see the table here, when you have to weigh off between the efficiency or material content, the one ground reality specific to our region we need to understand is 1 kW saved is a 4 kW generation saved. And we know that's the logic behind it. We still have 75% of our power coming from the different sources, out of which almost 60% of power comes from thermal. And we know the efficiency, we know the losses, we know the theft, we know the T&D losses. So 1 kW energy saved is 4 kW of 4 kWh of the units production saved. So keeping that in mind, we can always play on the efficiency. So the efficiency forum or our commitment by the Energy Ministry towards 2030, 2050, and that's one of the reasons, Ashwini Jain sir, why we are moving from level 2, level 3, level 1, and of course there are some other reasons too, which I'll not like to discuss here. And I move to the SDG goal, which is a 2030, where we are planning to synchronize all the products produced in the country are of a global standard. So one world, one globe, one nation, one whatever you say, and I come to the end of this slide. I don't want to spend, because this Dakkar needs a lot of time to explain. And this is what should be the ultimate aim for us, that सर BIS वाला आके बहुत तकलीफ देता है, वो एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी वाला आता है, बाद में ECBC लॉसेस वाला आता है. So we are actually surrounded by so many governing agencies, regulations, and lot many influencing factors to decide the specifications. So there has been some SDGs signed with IEC. Maybe by 2030 we will find at least 15 to 20% of our standardization is in line with the global standardization, and Mr. Simon will agree with us that in future he will start sourcing his products 100% from the India, so that he has ecological reason for it. I stop here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Rajaram, for such a wonderful session. So just for information, I would like to share that out of 17 SDG goals prescribed by UN, just I have done a study. So 3 goals, SDGs 3, SDG 7 and SDGs, I believe 17, those are very well relevant to the electrical utilities, and those stress on renewables and innovation and reuse. So these are the few mantras that electrical utilities can take forward. Thank you. So next session would be presented by Joshi Saab on transformer reliability.
Good afternoon. Please start the presentation. Okay. Before the transformer die, we are all here to struggle to save him. So that is my point, that how we can increase the reliability of the transformer and along with the energy efficiency. But whatever the Rajaram said, that is also a concern nowadays, taking into account the sustainable development and reuse of the resources available on the earth. So I am not discarding that. I am well agreed with you. But this is also important nowadays, because as the regulator and the customers, they are all behind the utility to have the system, reliable system. So that is my kind of presentation, and one of the way would be the active repair. That can be a kind of approach for the distribution transformer, because the rate of failure in case of distribution transformer is very high as compared to power grid, as compared to power transformers. So what are the concerns are the that is the we have to focus on the loss reduction, the reliability we have to improve, and how can we increase the capacity, not by adding the transformers, but the whatever the existing fleet, how we can increase that capacity. That we'll be discussing. There are 3-4 case studies, but because of the paucity of time, I will just give one sample and then give what are the results. This is one kind of activity what we have done with the MP PTCL, this distribution company. This is basically a project by the International Copper Association. Basically, International Copper Association is not only to promote the copper, but the advantages and benefits of copper for the reliability of the system, how it is being useful. That is the main vision of this organization, which I do support. And in that case, our problem intensity is the high failure rate, as we have seen. Because of that, there will be huge expenditure in R&M and the failures and the technical losses. We have seen the distribution transformer count. We also seen in the presentation of this Ashwini Saab. But point is that average DT failure rate, if you can summarize, it would be around 12 to 15%. That is, we can say 10 to 12 lakhs of distribution transformers are getting failed every year in the country. So because of that, there is a huge repair and maintenance cost around 6,000 crores per year. So that is a loss of national resources, as we can say. If we can save on this part, that would be a good on us to preserve the resources. So this is the first case with the MP KVCL. This transformer, there is a flow. I am not also able to read. This is what they have done for the repairing of transformer. Before that, they have taken all the testing prior to repair of the transformer. What are the design criteria mentioned earlier, means before, while bidding the transformer tender, and what are the actual found in the transformer. Based on that, they have even tested pre-repairing and post-repairing also. And it is being certified, or that it has been witnessed by the ERDA. So in that case, the findings are that it was a 100 kVA transformer. Okay, it was a aluminum wound, and post repair it was being converted into the copper. Their number of tons were 76. They are kept same in both the cases, and from that the no load losses has been reduced. And in case of the aluminum, it is 0.7, but when it has been replaced by the copper, the full load losses has been considerably reduced by 33%. This is the beauty of replacement of this active repair. So considering this, the cost benefit analysis has been carried out, and it has been found that the payback period would be around 2.4 years. And in case of single star or 3-star, the replacement cost is also been given by the active repair. And 0.86 lakhs, almost new copper DT, it would be like a new copper DT distribution transformer, which is giving the high efficiency and high copper salvage value. This is also a second case wherein the only secondary is being replaced by the copper. In that case, the full load losses has also been reduced by 50%. This is the nameplate detail. Yeah, this is a various cost benefit analysis with respect to various energy cost. Say for 6.25%, what would be the payback period? It would be 1.66 years. Likewise, it is being calculated. These are the certificates. I will skip this second one. I will give the output. What is the result they have gained by this? This is the model actually they have developed. So these are the key observations. According to it, it says that 2 to 5 years of payback period after the active repair is being carried out. So it is possible that we can have hybrid kind of active repair, that one can replace only HT or one can replace only LT. Based on that, depending on we have to analyze before going for the active repair. But at least if we can replacing one of the winding, we can gain the benefits of the this copper by way of increasing the life, reliability, and the energy efficiency. Thank you.
So thank you, Joshi Sab. So there's an avenue that you have shown to utilities. So based on the cyclic loading criteria, utilities can take a conscious call to go in that direction. So our next session would be presented by Aradhana ma'am on health index.
Good afternoon. There is a limited time. I'll try to cover as much as possible. This is better. Can I do it from here? Yeah. So, Negi sir has made my job very easy. He explained what is health index. To give a brief about the health index, you can say the condition of the transformer, you can quantify by a number. Very short introduction about health index. You quantify numbers 0, 100, 10, whatever it is, and it is a comparative study. One transformer can have a score of 10, other could have a score of 80. And then the main theme is that we should know why this transformer has scored 10 or why that transformer has scored 80. What is the difference between these two, and what kind of maintenance action or kind of say planning we have to do to improve the condition, to elevate the number from 10 to 80. That is the whole goal about the health index. So basically, one moment. Normally I have a with laptop. So, no, but it's I'm trying. Okay. So,
Slide कौन सा?
many thanks for this. So what we are having is a data. Data means data in form of test data, in design values we have commissioning data, we have maintenance data, a lot of data we have about any asset. So that data need to be converted into information. That means data filtration is required, and the significance of data we should know, and from there we have to extract the information, and that information goes into knowledge base, and that is what the job of health index. It converts all the data, all the experience in knowledge based data, and it derive a number for you as a dashboard. So it's a, see, we in health indexing, we, already 15 years journey we have completed, and by those experience, what I can simulate here, suppose you have this much transformers, in 0 to 5 years, we are bound to have this kind of health indexing where green is the maximum. That means the good condition is maximum in 0 to 5 years. The more you migrate from 5 to 10 years or 10 to 15 years, what will happen, this green zone is going to reduce. It will be taken by the yellow zone. That means you have a average health. Then it will go to the monitoring, and the red will go to the alert. So this is whole journey of the transformer in terms of health index. It will happen if you see the whole fleet design and do the health assessment. So by the time transformer reaches 20 to 25 years, this could be the scene. So what we are seeing that at the 0 to 5 years also we have the green transformers, the good one, and 20 to 25 years, then also you have the green ones. The masses given by health index, all the transfers in your system will not perform in the same way. It will have its own performance depending on the loading condition, depending on the quality, design, everything, maintenance. Considering everything, this can vary. So the whole maintenance philosophy is going to change by this health index, because those who are green will need a minimum attention, and those who are in red zone after 25 years need maximum attention. That is the main motto of devising that health index. So what is the benefit? Suppose this is a life cycle, and you're seeing that till the mid-life cycle, the normally transfer behave good, and it covers the green zone, and then it goes for the increased monitoring and corrective maintenance, and then it goes to the red zone where you need to have a optimized decision what you want to do. You want to refurbish, you want to rewind it, you want to scrap it, those kind of decisions you take in the red zone. But if health index is done in the green zone itself, you have enough buffer time, 10 or 15 years, to decide what I want to do till the rest life of the transformer. You can do the 10 years planning, you can do the 5 years planning, looking at all the transformer conditions, once it is done in the green zone itself. So the better you do early, good for you, good for your planning, and good for your portfolio also. And that we'll see by the case studies. Lot of case studies I have in this discussion. So health index as such looks at number, health index, but lot of thing goes inside that. If you have some sensor data, online sensor data, you have online diagnosis, some kind of NN base, that goes, routine oil testing it goes, spatial test you are doing, that is as input data, what inspections you are doing, monthly, yearly, daily, those inspection calls are there. Registration data, what you have about the like SAP ID, what are the make, what is the nameplate, all those things goes. Then what events it has captured, like short circuit events, it has got through some overloading events or some kind of say transient events, all those capturing is there in the health index. Then NN based software, from the way some data is derived, like what you are getting in FDS is basically NN based data. It's a Moshe content, what you are getting is the NN based data. What development in the NN is very fast. In SFRA you are using NN, lot of things are there. So all data goes, and that makes the condition data 1, 2, 3 like that. Now, if you see evolution of health index, lot of practices are there, not one practice, lot of practices are there. The simple practice is you have indicators, you have weightage, and you're going to health index. By having indicators and multiplied by weightage, and you're coming to the health index. That is one approach. Second approach is that you have condition indicators, but you have sub-components. Like, suppose oil has lot of parameters. It has DGA, it has furon, it has routine. So it goes to the sub-component level, and you have their weightage, and considering everything, you have a health index number. And third is directly NN, where you train the NN as per the condition data, and it has its own scoring, and you have a health index. So a lot of evolution is there in the health index. It's not a uniform structure where we can say that this is the best method. What suits the utility, the user, that is the best method about the health index. So when we talk about health index, it goes to the component level, to the level it predicts and tells you that this component is a bad performer, bad scorer, and that needs to be taken action. Maybe that your health index is good, but the particular component is not behaving. That kind of conditions also possible by HI, where all the components are considered for the transformers. So one case study here, just to elaborate that how health index works. Here the 100 transformers on site is taken as a fleet management. Lifespan is 15 to 20 years. As I explained, the lot of data goes inside. Same exercise was done here. Design review, O&M review, inspections, everything is there. Then you have all the online data gathered, partial discharge, thermography, DGF, Huron, routine test, offline diagnostic tests, all data are here. Now, after doing all the exercise, what was the conclusion is that 30% of the transformer is behaving normal after 15-20 years, that is they are in green zone, no need for any attention, but 70% fleet require major or minor maintenance. So what is the finding? Finding is like this. If we just classify in FEMA, we have problem side lead and insulation where we observe high level of partial discharge. We have winding failures because of mechanical weakness. We have solid insulation having excessive moisture problems. We have height and delta, that means aging of the insulation is on the higher side. Then tank has leakage, OLTC has its own indication about selector contact aging. Then oil is having its own aging because of this stray gassing. Then oil has its own life ending because of low resistivity and aging, low DP and all. Core is having its own stray gassing, and accordingly there's some maintenance action is here. Online PD monitoring is required, somewhere it is rewinding, maintenance action, somewhere monitoring is required, online leakage arrest is there. So this is what the philosophy is, and these are the number of transformers. Now this is, I just discussed the problem. Now I want to quantify these numbers and see as a dashboard all these problems in numbers. So what could happen? This is what again I'm explaining, the whole data goes, then RLA study goes, then the asset data, all information starting from manual solution time, goes inside. And you have a health index dashboard here where you can define good, fair, poor, or end of the life. So for that example which I have shown, this is the score. What you see that 30% is above 6, which we say normal, and 70% is below 6, which is not abnormal. Some are abnormal, say 10% is abnormal, but rest of them need minor or major maintenance. But all scoring is done based on a static data type, age, location, design parameters. Then you have operational data, maintenance data, environmental data, where it is corrosive, it is coastal, it is pollution, all those things, and the failure data, some failure history about those designs. So when you see a dashboard in detail and take a transformer, suppose this is a transformer, and what you see individually in dashboard is that this is a good transformer having a good score here in the green zone, but we can see individually what is the problem, I mean where we fall, about the winding, about the oil, about the bushings, about the OLTC, all the individual scorings we can see. It may be possible the transformer overall score is good, but one of the component could be the bad performer. Like the DJ could be high, but in the whole score that could be subside, because a lot of parameters are taken inside. So that way the bad score is identified. One bushing is not performing, only one bushing. So bad score has to be identified. So subcomponent score is very important. So for the same case study, what you see, the HI is in this band, 5, 3, 4, like that. These HIs are here. The bad one I am showing, where the replacement or the decisions were made that what to do about that. Now, this is a study done where we try to kind of exploitation that if HI is this much, what is the age? HI is this much, what is the age? And distribution of HI. So what we find, see, one case study we try to extrapolate and try to make a linear relation, just extrapolation, and we come to some equation. Now this equation can help me to decide that what would be the HI after 10 years or after 20 years. I can do that extrapolation if we know the trending of the fleet. That is the significance, and this is what we are doing. So, and that could be converted into probability of failures where the green is good, the yellow is average, and the red is bad. Now, concept of HI is that try to get maximum online data, because this is an online system where you have a X value right now, but once you take in a maintenance action, you have rectified the problem, the system should take automatically and your scores would improve. It should not wait someone to enter that in your system and then you know that, okay, my HI has improved. So the software is designed in such a way now that it get those inputs from the maintenance management software. And if you have maintenance management software and the APM, that is asset performance management software, what you've seen in the Power Grid presentation, combining these two will give you a very informed information about asset investment planning, which is 5 years planning, which is 10 years planning, what you want to do in next 10 years, 5 years, even 15 years, what you want to procure, what you want to replace, what refurbishment you want to have, what maintenance budget you want to have, all those things could be planned. Now, what HI concept is there, that is based on ISO 55000. I am, due to constraint of time, I am not going in detail of ISO 55000 right now. But what lesson it gives is, asset management or HI is something is driven by top to bottom. The top, the corporate level decision and the policies and the procedure established will guide the HI or asset management that what we should do, and that is how the corporate level plays a role, and the instruction is from top to bottom and that is followed, and then the successful implementation of the plan is there. In this direction, one IC is coming, which is giving especially exclusive view about the power network assets, where how to make a HI, what will be the conditions, what could be the methodology, equations, everything will be there in this IC, and maybe that next year this IC will be available. And I'm one of the experts from India contributing to this IC, writing one chapters also in this, and very informative. What I'm talking right now is nothing, a lot of things are there, and whole world is working, and everything is in automation and in platform, what you'll see. One case study, just we have done a case study on 12,000 transformers in international platform. Maximum was distribution and some of them were transmission and generation. So what we find that rating wise the failure trend is high. Some ratings are very high failure trend. You can see they are marked in red, 26%, 20% like that. Then region-wise also you see that the failure rate is high for some region where that's an industrial belt. About the 12,000 feet of the distribution transformer I'm talking. And failure mode analysis was done, and we see that winding has a maximum failure. Vandalism cannot be controlled. Everywhere it is there. But unknown failures were there because those are not recorded, but the maximum failure is in the winding for the DT. Now, based on this, because fleet size is very big, 12,000, we did Vibrio analysis to derive the mean life of the transformer in the system. And by doing the failure analysis based on Vibrio analysis, what we find that the mean life of the transformer, the distribution transformer in their system is falling around 16 to 17 years. That is what the guaranteed life you can get from the distribution transformer in that particular system. Similarly, if you do for a transmission generations here, another study where you can see that the 50% failure is here. So 45% is the average life. So it depends on it is distribution or industrial or transmission or generation. There the mean life will vary. If we do in our system also, it will vary, but the study is good. That means at least this much life is expected overall fleet. Then we did some failure trend analysis and rating wise, and we find that 33K11 and those not having OLTC is having lower failure rate. And those having OLTC 33 by this is having a higher failure rate. That is what you see here. This is a 9.9 and 6.8, and this is lower failure rate. And alpha beta, those study we've done in Viblu, and we find that mean life is also less for those transformers 12 and 8, and where the life is more. Now this is the second fleet where the GT and the transmission unit is compared. So what we find that transmission unit is lightly loaded, and here the whole impact you can see that the transmission unit health is very much in line with the assumption with the loading, and it was good. Very few transformers are following below 6, but the GT 50% fleet was following below 6, and the age was 25 to 30 years. That is the range of this transformers. This is another utility where we see that it's a wide span, and what you see, it's a real data, it's a wide span. You can see that after 41 to 45 years also, you have some yellow zone transformers performing well. Then here the mean life is derived, and mean life comes to 50 years. And study was done on the reactor and transformer. Then reactor is showing the lesser life than the transformer. So bath curve, I am just skipping all that. Risk also I am skipping. I'll go to the case study which was not done yesterday. So the first is partial discharge. The partial discharge in a transformer is having a kind of issues we are with it, and normally we find that it is a flashover or kind of arcing inside the transformer, but normally it is initiated by partial discharge. In RCA we found such cases. So partial discharge means you have an insulation, but part of the insulation start conducting because of the weakness in the insulation. It has some contamination, moisture or some cavity, so it start having some conduction in between. Insulated as such should not conduct, but you have some such kind of spots and start conducting. So this is an internal discharge, this is a surface discharge having across the surface. This is internal because it is happening inside the insulation, and this is the corona which is having just surface to sarpage. So these kind of partial discharge pattern could be found in the transformers. Some of the photos are here. You can see this is a surface discharge, this is a kind of internal and surface discharge mix. So again, in morning we have discussed this. If you have a partial discharge, that means electrons are moving inside, there is a conduction. So electron movements are very high in localized area. When this is the scenario, what is happening? You have different impact of such movement of the electron and bombardment of electron because of the charge, and what you are seeing the polarization. So first thing is light. Light you see in form of corona. You see pressure wave. Pressure wave means vibration in the structure, insulation structure, that is happening, which you capture by acoustic PD. Then you have radiation, because it is movement, it is giving some kind of collision, so you have radiations in megahertz and gigahertz. Those radiations are captured by sensors. Then chemical effect, which is the DGA, where you can get the information about the partial discharge. Then heat, which is very usual in thermography, you can get as a hotspot, you can get. Those are the impact of the partial discharge, and the way you can derive that transformer has a partial discharge by combining all these methods and knowing about those things. So different methods are there, different sensors are there, and accordingly ICs are different. So basically, if you talk about a partial discharge, it is having a wide band measurement. That means starting from 50 kilohertz to 300 gigahertz, that's a band, and 4-5 sensors clubbed together gives you complete information about the PD activity inside a transformer or inside any asset. So here what you are seeing is a band where HFCT is there in the megahertz band, You have TV in megahertz band, UHF in the gigahertz band, and acoustic in kilohertz band. And overall, doing this PD, you will get a clear picture
Ma'am,
about the transformers.
If we can,
Yeah. So I'm skipping this introduction, going directly to the case study. Suppose you have a partial discharge, you will get a clear PRPD like that, and it shows internal discharge. What you are seeing a cluster here, that shows an internal discharge. So this is an internal discharge, and in the photograph, this is a real internal discharge on the press board. You can see, which is captured, and after inspection, it was found. This is a corona. You can get. Multiple discharge you can get. Acoustic PD is, I'm not skipping all that because time is not there. But this is as per IEEE 57-127. And these kind of acoustic waves, vibration waves are generated. And you have a different nature. When it is in steel, it is in oil, it is in a deflection in surface area, it has a different pattern. And some case study, it's a regulating transformer, where the PD was conducted, and there is a severe signal of PD found, online PD conducted, and the location also found. And after doing the inspection of the PD, what we find here is a kind of, in the coupling between rectifier and regulating unit, the coupling is burning here. You can see the coupling. And that was a quality issue, and the whole coupling was reduced, and this was not in one. There are 10 transformers which was having such issues, and minor or major, that is replaced. That is one case. Again, I'm skipping all these slides, going to case study directly. This is what you are seeing, a surface PD find by PRPD pattern here. These are all done online by online sensors using acoustic PD, HFCT, and other sensors. Then you have tap changer fault detection here. What you are seeing is a DGA pattern. DGA is high after 3 months, then PD signals is very high here. And what after locating the partial discharge by acoustic sensors, we open, that was the area, and we find the carbonation in the OLTC contact, and that is on-site rectified. This is another case where after 4 years we found acetylene in the DGA signal, but it was a kind of error where the tie rod is having, in between some nut bolts are there, and it is giving a continuous arcing between the active part and the tie rod. So that was removed after 4 years, and if it was there, it could have given the different phase to earth fault after some time, but it was timely captured. Then it's a after 4 years again there is another transformer rise in 10 delta and PD, and we find spots here after opening the transformers. The another case what you are seeing is again mechanical buckling and the spots of the PD which we captured. DCRM of the OLTC is there where you can find that if any problem in the it's okay. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. So in DCRM, we have a plot where you can assess the condition of DCRM. If everything is okay, what plot you will get like this. When you operate a tap, you will have a kind of this kind of fall. And this is the bad performance of the DCRM. You can capture problems like contact deterioration, transition register problems and all. Then mechanical through fault. I think here I'll stop, I'll not go much. This is an interesting case where the R phase was feeding fault continuously in ICT, and every parameter was normal. So only DZ was giving acetylene 3 to 4 ppm, otherwise no such assumptions. And SFRA was showing some deviation here. Based on DZ, SFRA and inductance measurement at site, 5% deviation, ICT was opened, and this was the buckling issue in the HV winding. Of the R phase only R phase, and that buckling was in IV winding, not in HV winding, which we predicted, and same thing was realized. And one side buckling, and again it got stuck. One side buckling, and other side you can see that impact of that transformer, which is also captured in a very early stage. I think I should stop. We should not continue. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Aradhana ma'am, for this informative session. And obviously, this health indexing would facilitate the utilities to plan the maintenance as well as the R&M capex budgets. So I think, Mr. Jagdish, if you can quickly take us through Mr. Charles' PPT.
Yeah, laptop.
Here is a stopwatch of 5 minutes. Hello? Hello? Yeah. I'm not going to take more than 5 minutes. One gentleman traveled for this Trafo care from US to Mumbai, and he got cough and cold. Okay, so in India many people get cough and cold, but he is a sensitive person. He did the COVID test. All US citizens get those COVID kits, and he was positive. So because other people should not get affected, he decided to stay in the room, and he has not attended this workshop. So I really appreciate his, but whatever he wanted to present, I just want to show you in 5 minutes. I will not take much time. So this Polywater has started, like they are the initial people who supported Knowledge Cluster for conducting these kind of workshops, and for last 8 years, 8 workshops they are supporting us. So 10 stories on transformer leak repair. Next. Can I get the slide changer? Slide changer. ये है ना? So these are the slides he wanted to show in his presentation. These are all transformer leaks in our open house. I am going to ask the question, why transformer leakages should be arrested? Okay, and maybe you can answer those questions. So this is bell tank leak repair. Earlier, leakage repair was considered as a temporary solution, but this company, Solution Work for Work, Polywater has designed a product which you can apply and it lasts for long. There are installations where it is working for more than 15 years, and the contractual warranty is 1 year they provide. So they have designed this chemical compound. Earlier, it was a understanding that you have to drain the transformer oil in order to apply this product, but this product also works when the oil is actually leaking. So they have done, like, see the entire GT, so it was not open, it is non-invasive, so you are not exposing the winding to the moisture. This is the team who has done this work. So Avinash, you can see here, he is considered as world's best leak expert person. Avinash, please come here. He is world's best leak expert. There is another fellow, Gautam, please come near the dais. So this is Kevadia. The entire bell tank is repaired using this. I'm just quickly showing you these photos. You will get this presentation. Okay, entire bell tank is arrested. This is a 765 kV turret. The old people, there are hundreds of sealants in the market, and you know, removing that old sealant is also a problem. So you have to be very specific when you are choosing such material. So this transformer is connected with a GIS terminal. So replacement of the gasket is really not the practical solution. This installation was done 8 years back, and still there is no leakage. This is a cork gasket you can see here. There is a Tala Hydro company in Bhutan, and they are facing the similar problem. They have to invite the engineers from Japan in order to, you know, replace the whole thing. So they have invited these leak expert people to do that particular job. So this is NTPC Bongaigaon. By train it takes 60 hours to reach at this particular place. Their generating plant was running, and on this station transformer, this inspection plate was leaking. They tried all the way, they could not do it. Gautam, on the live transformer, he has done this job. So that leakage is stopped. There are videos, you know, which are very interesting, but we don't have time for all this. One of the problem with the bushings also leakage. So on the generator there is that chute or that portion. So this guy is inside that portion and doing this job. Here somebody tried to fit online DGA, and with that sensor the leakage started and this job is successfully arrested. This was a 800 kV testing transformer in Crompton Greaves. They were having annual loss with the maintenance. They have lifted this with crane, and Avinash could successfully arrest that job, and the management presented that they saved 35 lakh rupees because of this work. This removing the, like, you know, there are so many sealants in the market. You go and apply it, and when they don't work, removing become a big task. Okay, and also these materials are not apple to apple. You see the large portions here. So among leak repair material, you cannot compare it in kgs. It is compared in performance. Also, these materials has to undergo different temperature cycles, winter, cold, and things like that. So this material also expands and contracts suitably. There are some case studies where, you know, inside the transformer, the tracking of this leaking material has caused some kind of partial discharge. This material is designed as chemically inert. It is having dielectric strength as good as oil or paper, so you can use it. So I think this is what is that product. Thank you.
So thank you Jagdish ji and Mr. Charles for this presentation, and we wish Charles a speedy recovery. Last session would be from Potni Saab on OLTC.
स्लाइड माझ्याकडे स्लाइड नाहीच आहे ना, मग काय प्रश्न नाही, म्हणजे मी दाखवू शकतो. हां मी आहे, हां मी यू कॅन जस्ट लोड इट. ट्राफो केअरचं हे लागलं तर. गुड इव्हनिंग. Actually, this is supposed to be the perhaps last session, not session I will say, the last lecture you can say. Hello. But this is on load tap changers. I am not going to do any presentation because my presentation is going to take minimum 40 minutes. And these people are not allowing me that much time. So I said that okay, I can skip that and I can take question answer session directly, and question answer session will start now onwards, and then other topics can be taken. So I am really happy to see this one if people have come prepared with some questions on load tap changer. So it is open to you. You can ask any kind of question on load tap changer. Because if you are not going to ask me any question, then I am going to present. So choice is up to you. So whether you are ready to spend 45 minutes or 10-15 minutes, I can finish it off. Yes, I think one person, that mic. So there are 1, 2.
There are 6 hand raised, so.
Good.
You are having a question in every session.
Sir, what can you advise to replace the oil for tap changer? Because we are filtering oil every day, every time, whenever we take the transformer in the maintenance. But then what should be the time when we decide that now it is time to replace the oil?
Yeah, it depends on many factors, but especially switching operations. How many number of switching operations you have done on the OLTC? So you have to refer the manual. In that manual, the references are given. Sometimes OLTC is operated just at 10-20%, sometimes 50%. So based on how many number of operations you have done, approximately at what current. Based on that, you can decide the time period.
See what happened.
But just to tell you this one, the diverter switch oil, we are not supposed to change it for 50,000 operations when we do the type testing at any of the test labs. So we can do full load operations of 50,000 numbers. So only after that it can be replaced. So there is no question. Many people say that the oil has turned black. Yes, within few operations it will turn black, so which is normal. Some people take even DGA of diverter oil, which is not at all required because there is going to be arcing inside the diverter switch, so gases are going to get produced. So you are not supposed to check any DGA for diverter oil where the switching takes place.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, who are the next?
Yeah, one moment.
Hello. Good evening, sir. Myself, M.V. Sudhakar from JSPL Raigad, Jindal Steel and Power. Actually, my question is get answered by that yourself in that first question. I am also having the same, how much time is required to change the OLTC oil.
Yeah.
So it was answered, sir. Thank you.
So it is the same, yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, okay.
Okay, anyone else?
Hello. Sir, I am R.C. Sharma from MPPTCL. My question is, unload tape changer, can we operate the tape changer if load is reactive? Some reactive, not 100%
Not
reactive.
able to hear you properly.
Load is reactive. Suppose transformer is on reactive load,
Yeah,
not 100% reactive, say 0.5 power factor, 0.6 power factor.
yeah.
In such case, can we operate the OLTC?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, even on reactors, the on-load tap charges are being proposed. So,
So-
reactors with having maybe about 0 to 80% of variation. So, that much variation we are now suggesting to the reactor manufacturers and also to the utilities. So, you will get the tap changers with reactive, which can break that current. So, there is no issue on that. Only we need to take care of X by R in that case. But okay, that is our problem, but it can be done, no problem at all in switching reactive current.
In case of 100% reactive load, we can operate.
Come again?
Load is 100%, suppose.
100%?
Reactive load.
Yes, sir, 100% reactive. On reactor itself, we can use tap changer.
Okay.
So you can understand.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Potis
Hello,
sir,
sir.
for the
Thank
last
you.
7-8 years, we have been using online filtration machines for OLTC. So it's been I would say now an integral part of our all new transformer purchases. So based on our experience, even we have done the condition monitoring and we have revised the PM frequency of OLTC. So do you have even some insights on using the online filtration machine? What can be the PM frequency? Let's say we understand that is based on how many numbers of operation. But yes, let's say in a perspective, if OLTC is without online filtration machine and with online filtration machine, what would be the effect on PM frequency? How much we can extend?
No, I am not getting frequency because now these online filters, they do operate after almost every tap change operation for certain period. In some cases, after maybe 10 operations, the filter starts. So this can be set in the beginning itself, according to this one. But almost in every case, especially on transformers which are used for furnace duty, there these online filters are invariably used, and it keeps on filtering this one. And the life of those OLTC is much better than any other tap changer.
I would say-
Hi, sir.
Sorry. My question, I think it is partially answered. So I would post one short question to you again. So we understand that is based on this. We have revised the PM frequency from 2 years to 5 years by using this online filtration machine.
So
Right?
preventive maintenance. You want preventive maintenance of OLTC based on this one, or because preventive maintenance we do give this one guidelines in the manual when you should do that maintenance after, because for that you should have good record of switching operations, as they were saying that when we should change the oil. So we also give guidelines, say contact should be changed after how much erosion. So in our case it is around say 4 millimeter erosion. So you have to check the contact condition, and based on that you can decide when to check.
Hello.
Hi,
Potis sir, can I ask question?
Hi, sir. I have a question.
But not a difficult one.
No, it's for only you, sir.
Yeah, but
Sir,
not a difficult one.
no. Two thing. One is can you put your views on the vacuum tap and oil tap? And second question, sub-question to this is when we use alternate liquids like ester fluid, the parent companies do suggest to go for vacuum tap, whereas in the country you already done a lot of trials with the oil tap and the other manufacturers are also doing. So can you throw some line on that, vacuum tap, oil tap and ester application into the tap changer?
Okay. Good, I can understand why you asked.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Myself Anand from Integrate. Sir, can you tell me the timeline for doing the OLTC mechanism overall? Whether it should depend upon the number of switching operation or it's depend on lifetime, like 5 years once or like that.
Just a minute, I think he has asked some questions, so let me first finish it off. Okay? Just wait a minute. Yeah. So now, as we have told that the first was the Tata who has used our tap changers, oil tap changers for synthetic oil. So there is absolutely no issue on this one. I think last maybe more than 6 or 7 years it has been working without any issue. So definitely it can be used with some modification, some derating, because you know the dielectric strength of this one as compared. So based on this one, the strength, we can definitely use the tap changer.
So also, do you have a tap changers for a dry type transformer which doesn't have dielectric inside, dielectric fluid inside, and are those popular and people using it?
Yeah, up to 33 kV we have dry type OLTC with vacuum interrupters, and that is being used.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. Myself Anand Kumar from Integrate. What will be the timeline for doing OLTC mechanism, sir? Imagine that if a transformer is there for 15 years transformer, the operation of like a yearly they have did like two times or 3 times only tap changing operation. Whether the mechanism overhauling need to be done like 10 years once like that, or it should be based on the number of operation for doing overhauling of OLTC driver switch and its mechanism.
Come again, because I'm not able to understand your question.
What will be the criteria for doing the OLTC mechanism overhauling?
Mechanism overhauling?
Yeah.
Yeah, mechanism overhauling is not very frequent. Only lubrication is required for a mechanism. And that also you will get in the manual, instruction manual, after how many operations you are supposed to do the overhauling.
Sir, problem is here that they are not operating OLTC frequently, but 15 years is gone. Okay, there are 2-3 operations per year. What about the mechanism? Whether some overhauling is required, contact mechanism, or it should be let it be like that, and it will have 30 years life like that. That is the question. After 15 years, operation of OLTC is minimal, 2 to 3 operation per year. But after 15 years, whether they should do some maintenance on OLTC or let it be like that for the lifetime. That is the query.
Yeah, it depends on say number of operations.
Yeah.
It doesn't depend whether it has worked for 15 years or 20 years. I have seen that some tap changers, they are there for even 30 years.
Yeah.
So there is no issue on this one. As long as you are maintaining it well, there is no issue, it can be used.
That is what maintenance required. No maintenance or sub-maintenance required.
Yeah, maintenance of mechanism, especially lubrication.
Lubrication, yeah.
Lubrication on the mechanism side.
Okay.
And on the diverter switch and tap selector actually you are not required to maintenance even up to 500,000 operations.
Okay, yeah.
It can be used like that. But diverter switch, definitely you are required to see how many operations are doing at what current. Based on that you can decide, but may not be less than 50,000 operations.
Okay.
So minimum 50,000 operations you can do comfortably.
Diverter is the last thing we should touch. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
Hello, myself Kimmi Tiwari from GetGo. I wanted to ask, sir, if OLTC mechanism has some problem and if spare parts are not available in the market, transformer winding and everything is okay, but OLTC is not working properly, then what is the solution? What is the submission for that?
Yeah, who is the manufacturers? You have to approve
Manufacturers are already obsolete design, that is manufacturers are not.
Then you can contact
Shut-
ESNMR, no problem. We also undertake.
Sir, that I also
Repair
have
work
done,
of
but
other
they also have, they don't have those spare parts. Like
Yeah, in some cases it has happened that the design is not at all compatible with ours.
Yeah.
It's totally different. In that case, we have to do retrofitting.
Okay,
We take out that OLTC, fit ours at that place.
okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, I have online tap changer and I have no maintenance, not operated any time since last 25 years. Shall I operate now?
Good question. So you never felt this one, any need of operating that so far?
No need to operate.
No need. Then why you want to operate
No,
now?
but suppose it required to operate, then can I operate or not?
You
As per
can
your
operate,
website.
absolutely no issue. But many people, under fear, they don't operate that.
Yes.
But now if you want to operate it, initially, you switch on this one, see whether there is no jamming, nothing. Because perhaps it must have got jammed now
Yes,
in 25 years.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, so that's why it's better whenever you are taking shutdown on the transformer, that time you operate it fully, check the resistance of the winding resistance, everything with this one, and if there is no abnormality, you can use it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Or you can call us, we are there.
Yes, sir.
Sir, myself Kundan Kumar from BRC. What the test recommended for OLTC at site?
Come again?
What are the test recommended for OLTC at site? And second, what are the protections recommended for OLTC? We are just using a OSR.
Yeah.
So what are the testing recommended at site for OLTC and what are the recommended protection for OLTC?
Yeah, we are checking only BDV of the oil. And we have given certain values in the manual, how much should be the value after how many operations.
And about contact resistance?
Come again?
Contact resistance of moving contact?
Contact resistance of only OLTC you cannot check it. It has to be along with the transformer.
So there is no any procedure at site to test the contact resistance?
It will come along with the transformer only. So we don't recommend actually measurement of transformer resistance.
And mostly we are using OSR for protection of OLTC. So how to test OSR at site?
How to?
Test OSR at site. It really work or not work?
OSR,
Oil surge relay.
oil surgery, yeah.
So how to
there
test at site?
there is no need to check at this one.
But how to say that is a reliable?
Come on.
But how to ensure that is a reliability of the protection of OLTC?
Yeah.
Because glucose relay we can test at site, glucose relay.
One moment. Okay, we are OSR manufacturers.
How
let
can
me-
we ensure the reliability of OLTC?
Sir, as you know, Prayog is India's first company in 1958 to make gas-operated relay. So whether it's OSR or GOR, see, if GOR you cut into two parts, half part becomes OSR and half part becomes CPR. So as Mr. Jagdale said, when OSR is connected to the pipeline to the tap changer, testing is not possible. But if you have to test it, a simple way, you remove the OSR, turn it 180 degree, there is a NONC switch. If it is operating, that means there is a contact and that contact is operating. Now if you want to test it how it operates, you need a pump which creates some high pressure fluid from bottom, which goes inside, whether it's a bucket or whether it's a capsule, it operates, and there can be a micro switch, or there can be a RIT type switch, or it can be an old, let's say the liquid switch. All of those switch, if they are converting from NO to NC or NC to NO, assume it's operating.
And what is the protection replacement of OSR?
OSR itself is a protection. There is no protection for OSR.
No,
to
not
protect.
OSR or other protection.
Additional is a pressure relief valve. PRV you can put it. Additional protection you can put a PRV, pressure relief valve.
Thank you, sir.
No, I want to add something here. Pressure relief valve will release the static pressure, and surge is rate of change of pressure. These two are two different quantities. So if you want some equipment which should test that particular relay, we can make and we can give you that particular equipment, but you have to check it, remove it and check it and then put it back again.
Yeah, one utility was using that. They were having spare OSR. They used to put that and then take out, test it. But they found that it was of no use.
Yep.
It was working okay.
Maybe
They
I
have done
take.
it. They have done it.
Sorry. You have a question or what? Oh, please.
Hello, this is Bhargav from TrueBot Partners. What is the frequency of doing the BDV for OLTC oil?
What is the frequency?
BDV testing of the oil used inside OLTC.
Yeah,
It depends.
Again, as I told you, we have done 50,000 operations at full current, and BDV was still okay. It was around say 22, 23 kV, and it was still operating. So BDV value, we have given some guidelines in this one. If it is delta, then how much it should be. If it is star, how much it should be. Those values are given in the instruction manual. Follow those manuals.
Okay, so maybe we take a liberty here. Putni sir, you be there
Thank
on
you.
the dais only. I just need to complete one formality. May I request Chairman Sir Ashwini ji to hand over memento to Putni sir, and then we are continuing Q&A session along with Mr. Putnis here only. Anyone who wants to have tea can go out and have a tea. This will be a working tea. We are not going to have any tea break. So, Chairman sir, you, or you can bring, get the tea and sit inside. That's also okay for us.
Okay, thank you.
May I request Mr. Jaisanan to be on dais, Negi sir to be on dais. Oh, Q&A session, yep. Mr. Patnaik to be on dais.
I request Mr. Negi to hand over memento to Mr. Rajaram Shinde. He was also Dr. Rajaram Shinde, thank you very much. 7th Trafo Care, you have really given full energy to this particular session. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajaram Shinde. A big round of applause for Dr. Rajaram. Thank you. उनका ले हाथ से, हाथ में ले और पैक कर. वो जो मेमेंटो हाथ में ले गए. सर. हाँ? वो पेन ड्राइव बंदे को. आप बैठिए ना ऊपर.
There is no trivia. Dr. Aradhana, please on dais, please. Negi sir on dais, please. Potni sir on dais, please. Where is Mr. Patnaik? Where is Dr. Narsiman? I was Narsiman sir. Oh, sorry. Okay, please be on dais, sir. And the question and answer session, which was continuing with Potnis sir, please continue. Any question on the tap changer, please? Oh, okay, fantastic. Okay. All question can be asked now. First, let's complete the questions. So anything on the tap changer? Okay, no. Then please continue, sir. Hello.
Good evening, ma'am. I am MV Sudhakar from Jindal Steel and Power. I have one question related with tertiary winding of the transformer. Particularly, I think this question is with Madam Aradhana, ma'am. Okay. So we are having 120 MVA 3-winding transformer having 5 limbs of BHEL make, which will supply the power to our furnaces, 100-ton furnaces. So differential protection is there. It is 220 by 33 by 11 kV, and that 11 kV is open delta and comes out with 2 bushings, and it was shorted and grounded. So I think it is basically for suppression of third harmonic current, which was generated when furnace is in operation. Of course, we are having SVC also, static war compensator systems, which runs in parallel with furnace. It is having the automatic war compensation to maintain the voltage profile at the bus. So my question is that tertiary is coming, open delta is coming out of bushings, and it was shorted directly to ground. So what is the protection, or is there any protection required for to protect that tertiary winding with interturn short? Because we faced that situation when transformer got failed because of tertiary failure. So there is no any protection. HV and LV is having the protection. So is there any protection scheme for that?
Yeah, actually with due permission from ma'am, I am
Okay,
just
no
replying
issue,
this
sir.
one. Yeah, actually the kind of queries which you have asked, this is already there in this book. It has been compiled also. Let me to tell you the basic reason behind why we are keeping the tertiary winding, that you know it very well. There are 2 types of tertiary. One is called a loaded tertiary, another is called a stabilizing winding.
We are having unloaded tertiary, it is.
Yeah, you are having of unloaded tertiary. So there are 2 ways of keeping the protection in that regard. One, you have directly shorted one point of that delta connection to the ground. Right now you told.
No, it is not one point, sir. Open delta points are coming out of bushings, and these are shorted with bus bar, and that bus bar is directly grounded with dedicated earth pit.
That you mean to say all your terminals, 3 terminals, out of those only open delta part coming and getting to the grounded.
Yes, yes.
Only one solution you have to give it here. The one which you have done, that is absolutely correct. In that regard, there is no question of any external fault to appear over there. Why so? Because you are only having that particular winding which is open to the system and being grounded also. You have taken correctly the kind of things.
Yes, yes.
Second point is that if you are in fear of having some issues may happen, only one point is that particular one which you have connected, that you connect through one lightning arrestor. But I will tell you one thing, that is even not required. Why you have some kind of a fear in mind that whenever the terminal is already been in shuttered mode and getting connected to earth, any kind of problem will occur. That is my questions to you first of all.
So that type of problem we have not been faced so far.
That's I'm talking now. As you told here before, in your way of asking the query, that one of the transformer got failed. As you told some kind, kind of like that. But the reason behind of resulting that kind of a failure of the transformer is not of keeping any kind of external protection also. You would have saved that particular transformer. That might be some other reason. You please try to get the point. Actually, tertiary winding, whenever it is having of a loaded one, so 3 terminals come out.
Okay.
Whenever 3 terminals are coming out, then that is prone of getting connected to the any kind of fault occurrences.
Okay.
But whenever 2 terminals already internally is there, the stabilizing kind of tertiary is there. So one terminal is coming out simply in the mode of getting delta connected and to the grounded. Right kind of things you have taken. Only one recent days also some people they are adopting some kind of lightning arrestor. But lightning arrestor even not required.
But we don't have any such type of lightning arrestor.
See, lightning arrestor is something voltage phenomena. What you're talking about the short circuit happening in the tertiary winding, and this is something related to your application and what protection you're using on the protection side and how you protect the transformer from fault. So it is happening inside, and only tool what you have right now is to assess the tertiary winding conditions by different methodology and establish that there is no mechanical deformation, nothing is happening if you have some sister unit, and get confidence that my tertiary winding is working good. Lots of tools are available online, offline, and get established mechanical weakness of the winding. That is my submission.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Another method is adopted in 400 kV. Sir, in 10 delta E, delta, each phase you provide a PT, and then you on the secondary you observe the open circuit data voltage. Then that will also give you, if the open circuit data voltage goes high, then it will trip. So that also is another protection available.
And that means you want to say that voltage based protection to be taken in circuit to trip the transformer. If there is any unbalance or fault in the tertiary winding, that the open delta voltage will goes above 50 volts, I think.
But the way you're talking is something mechanical weakness, you should check it because tertiary is very vulnerable for such faults. So you should be aware about the condition. That is what.
I just want to interrupt. What is the number of terminals has been brought for the tertiary? Is it 4 or is it 2 or is it 3?
It is 2 terminals, 2 bushings.
2 terminals. Okay, that's an ideal situation, because if you are going to ground the tertiary, only 2 terminals should be brought down. Maybe for test purpose, during the test we can bring all the 4 and do the test. After the testing is completed at the factory, we should only have 2 terminals so that you avoid a 3-phase dead fault short.
Correct. During charging.
Okay, that is the reason we need to bring only 2, not 4.
Only 2 terminals are there. It's okay.
Suggestion.
It's okay. Okay.
Actually, I'll add you also one more point. All these are related to the protections. So whenever you are getting a chance of taking shutdown of your transformer, just to know about the tertiary winding behavior, the 2 terminals what it is being taken over and get it shutted, means open delta point, there you measure, you allow some kind of voltage in the some side. Here you measure the open delta voltage. If you are finding the open delta voltage of again not rising to certain limit, then you just get sure your tertiary winding is in a good intact and also in a better position. So that you make a practice that your tertiary winding has not been affected due to the running down of your transformers and all, that you can do.
That means you want to say that from primary or secondary we will apply some 3-phase voltage and check the voltage at open delta tertiary. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir. One more question is there, sir. This 120 MVA transformer that feeds to our 33 kV bus, which is feeding to our furnace. Okay, whenever there is the bus fault, that fault current is 14 to 16 kA approximately, because 10.6 is the impedance of that transformer at nominal tap. So is it possible to incorporate any resistive grounding, because right now that grounding is solid one, both HV and LV side. So is there any resistive protection is required, and resistive protection if we want to incorporate like NGR like that in 33 kV set, then what will be the bushing ratings? Because right now all the LVs and LVN and HVN is 52 kV bushing rating is. So if we incorporate that NGR in the LV side to minimize the fault current, so bushing rating will be as it is. Is it possible? First of all, is it possible? If it is possible, what will be the bushing rating, sir?
With due permission of this, session board, I am just answering to you. First of all, yesterday I had one sincere request to all the delegates. Whenever you are asking the query, if you ask the query in the better way, having of all data, then the reply will be of that way particular. Right now, what is the missing data I am telling to you? Whenever any transformer, if you are going to give the rating of the transformer in terms of its voltage and also the MVA rating, in that way we can easily judge what is the full load current, and whenever the fault occurrences as per the percentage impedance, we can know that what could be the fault current.
I am telling you, it is 120 MVA transformer, 10.6 is the nominal impedance, and 3000 amps is the nominal current rating of LV.
Great.
Okay.
So that means you have exactly given the real kind of things which basically focusing towards a normal kind of current goes of a 3000 ampere.
At LV side.
Yes. So whenever there happens to be any kind of fault, depending upon the percentage impedance, definitely its value will be much high.
Okay.
So during that moment, your transformer manufacturer, you just ask whether the design of that particular winding at the neutral end, the corresponding BIL insulation been provided or not. If it is been provided, it's really way to go for to have the NGR, if I am correct. Jayasanand sir actually can add it because he is the transformer manufacturer. Please add.
See, the fault current, you need to understand what is the system impedance. You need to understand what is the transformer impedance, and because the fault is not going to occur only at principal tap, and the impedance is also varying between the various taps. Maximum tap will have one value and minimum tap will have another value. So you need to have a very detailed calculation. I don't think we can reply it like this, in this way. You can write to me and we can work out, and then we can suggest you the thing, because this is a particular topic, so we need to, I don't want to misguide you with some wrong answer. You give us the specific thing, we can give it to you and we can assist you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
I will rate
So, very good conversation. Let us try to improve Gyan Sabha by rotating the mics to the maximum number of people. Question like a question, follow-up question is okay, but third question, please try to give mic to someone else. Also try to answer shortly and give other people also a chance to answer.
Well, thank you, thank you. Actually, I was to suggest this. Thank you for correction. A gentleman was waiting for different questions to different people. Please.
Sir, my question is regarding air cell of the transformer.
What is the question?
Regarding air cell. Sir, what is the life of the air cell?
Anyone is from the accessories manufacturer, air cell manufacturer?
Side, they can.
Okay. As I remember from Pronal's data, the 15 years, that's what they say, as unless it is not exposed to the atmosphere.
10 years. 10 years.
Sorry, 10 years. 10 years.
Suppose air cell got punctured at site. Is it repairable? Can we repair it?
At least I have not seen anybody doing any repair on an air cell, because the cost of the air cell is not so high. I think.
Maybe one input is it's like a tire puncture shop. If somebody if somebody wants to repair, it's a damage. Better not to repair it.
Hello. So that question, this air cell can be repaired. Depends how much damage. Hello. It depends upon how much that air cell got damaged. Because in lunchtime you told me how can it repair. If it is puncture, so you can use by a tire puncture. But it is blast. Nowadays what happened? This air cell got blast. So उसका जो crimping होता है, जिस layer का, वो crimping खुल जाता है. So it is not possible to repair that crimping at site. So you need to replace the air cell only.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Vaibhav Vandarkar from Power Grid Corporation of India Limited. Sir, this is one case actually. However, we have rectified that, but one answer is still means it is unanswered to me. Actually, one transformer.
Be little louder.
Sir, one ICT was out for some period. One ICT was out for some period. So before taking into service, we have done the tan delta testing of that transformer, winding transformer. So it was in the range of 3 to 5% actually. So after that, we have done lot of testing on that, and we have done we have consulted the OEM also, and then after that we have everyone.
Please come forward, because the queries are not been heard properly.
Sir, one ICT, it was out for some period actually, for a long period. Before taking into service, we have taken the tan delta winding of the transformer. So it was in the range of 3 to 5% actually. Okay, sir, then we have consulted OEM, then we have internal discussions also. Then we thought that the transformer is wet, maybe due to it was out for long period. But then we have done the FDS testing and all the paper testing and all this thing, and we found that the transformer is dry. And then we subsequently drain out the transformer, and during internal inspection we found that there is a polarity reversal switch in one phase. Polarity reversal switch was in between. It was not not in the either side, means of the tap changer winding. It was in the center, not is on the other side, or it was in the, that's why in one winding, and that was causing basically the high tan delta of the transformer. After that, we means as Negi sir told that means O&M is victim of a lot of means poor commissioning and then all these things. We have found what was the exact reason, but I didn't understand still till date that why this reversing switch, which was in between and it was not connecting the winding, tap changer winding, why it was affecting the tan delta value of the winding.
Sir, his question is the reversing switch was stuck in between and it was affecting tan delta. What can be the reason? Maybe Jaisanan sir, you have.
After when we put it in proper service,
Yeah.
then the tan delta came to 0.3%.
Yeah, it is quite possible because, you know, the winding will be out of circuit. In the reversing switch, in some positions, the tap winding can be out of the circuit. If that is the case, then you will get a completely different inductance and capacitance profile. And it will definitely will alter the tan delta if it is not properly connected. So it again depends on the electrical connection of the regulating winding with the main winding.
Okay,
I
thank
can,
you.
I
We have
can
question.
add to his answer. There could be some resistive path which is increasing your tan delta. The whole you find out, and once it is established, that is vanished, and you get the normal tan delta in the open condition. So you analyze the circuit. When it is open, it's a resistive element, and it has some impact on the clearances somewhere, which is giving a resistive current, and which becomes normal again when your circuit is normal. Just try to analyze by the circuit diagram.
Actually, I will add also one of the most important information for the utility people, those are sitting over here, regarding this tan delta and all. You know, sometimes the transformer has got the one called the CFT, core, frame and tank, what it is available on the top of the transformer and all. You may be knowing or not, I don't know. If CFT is not been properly connected, your tan delta value also will get a change. Sometimes, because of not understanding the very small kind of things, people also go for taking the transformer, shut down this, that, and doing lot of testing and all. So that's why very simple things, which is of a CFT, before doing any kind of tan delta or you are having any kind of tan delta different way, kindly check the CFT whether those links are been perfectly connected or not.
Hello, sir. My question is regarding dual winding transformers. Whether the use of dual winding transformers are advantageous or it is to be taken out of service, because we found that suppose 100 MVA 220 by 33 kV transformer, dual winding transformer, the failure rate is more. You want me to? What is your organization? MSCT, sir.
Yeah, shall I go on?
Sir, Jaisanan sir, can you take this question, please?
Who has asked the question? I am not able.
The question he has is the dual winding transformers are recommended or not, and if they are already there in circuit, shall they be taken out or not?
Yeah,
is that
it's
correct?
a very interesting question for me because, you know, we have many transformers with link arrangement and dual voltages. We have seen in the morning also CSC going for 33 kV, 11 kV, all voltages in one transformer. So this type of arrangements are achieved by adding and subtracting turns in the winding. And adding and subtracting turns in the winding is similar to the complexity like that of a tap changer. Okay? So just to simplify the situation. So when you are adding and subtracting the electromagnetic induction and the impedance pattern, everything will changes. And it also not only the electromagnetically, it is also electrostatically, because how you are getting this 33 kV and 22 kV, whether you are having a series parallel combination, whether you are taking a tapping out of the winding, all those things are has the impact on the reliability. Because if you are having a winding with an overhang of almost 30%, 40%, then it is dielectric point of view. You need to check whether both the windings are dielectrically safely designed or not. If the impedance pattern between these two things are vastly different, again, it can also influence on the short circuit. So, per se, the transformers of dual ratio transformers are more complex, and whenever you have a high complex transformer, you have slightly lower reliability. But at the same time, transformer is a very versatile product, and it can be designed reliably if it is properly designed, manufactured and tested. So you can achieve proper reliability of those transformers subject to you properly taking care of the design aspects. Design aspect means electromagnetics, electrostatics, and the internal manufacturing practices. So I hope my question answers. As far as possible, we should avoid the dual ratio transformers. If it is not possible, we need a flexibility. Please go for that, because this type of transformers are there for ages, according to me. In TNEB, Transco, they have been using 33 by 11 kV transformer for ages. Similarly, they are using 33 by 22 kV. So it is not that these transformers are not existent, but only thing is, if you want to be more confident, please go for a short circuit testing of those transformers. That will definitely improve the short circuit reliability of that.
Myself,
Is my answer meets the expectation?
Does it answer your question?
Yes, sir. It's almost satisfied. But we have 220 by 33. We have dual winding on 33 side.
Yeah.
And 220 by 33 transformer.
Yeah, it is possible.
And we found that failure rate is more in those transformers.
See, again, if you are going for many of the renewable transformers, solar transformers, they have dual LV of equally 33 kV, means 220 kV, 33 by 33 or 22 by 22. Those transformers are relatively less complex, but in those transformers also, if you want to be doubly sure about the short circuit, you can perform the test, or you can go by the reliable calculation.
Myself, Jimit Patel from ONGC Petro Addition Limited. We have 130, 150 transformers from manufacturing year of 2012, and we have done transformer oil testing from last 5 to 6 years continuously every year. I have a question regarding oil filtration. Whether we go for oil filtration every year or we go for oil filtration of transformer plant base.
Maybe Dr. Narasimhan, can you take this question that the frequency of the oil filtration, and second is shall he go for oil filtration or not? That's his question. And all test reports and the parameters are within limit. Dr. Narasimhan.
No, he's asking on OLTC or overall.
No, he has a transformer. He's from ONGC. He has a transformer. Transformer is from 2012. They tested the parameters of oil. All are within limit and very well in the required values. So, does he need to go for filtration? If yes, what should be the frequency? So that's the reason question I pass on to Mr. Narasimhan.
See, it depends upon the oil properties. Okay, if you are looking at an oil which has got a lot of particles because of arcing issues, then you have got to remove the particles by using a very high, very low micron filtration unit. Otherwise, if the acidity of the oil, if it has got oxidized and there is an acid formation, then you cannot do a simple reconditioning. You have got to do a reclaiming operation, which is a more involved process. Does it answer the question or?
Yeah.
I will answer the question. Answer is no, no need to do oil filtration every year, because oil filtration is going to deteriorate your oil quality. You're going to have a temperature 60 degree or more, which is not good. So do it 5 years or 10 years depending on your sludge formation and loading profile. No need to do oil filtration every year, and I hope everyone agree with this.
Yes, I think I will add that. See, it's very simple. I don't know, you are making it complicated. You have to consumer commission, you have values, okay? After 1 year, you again take the value. You compare all the values. Resistivity is the main, tan data is the main. IFT and KOH and other things will look into the BDV, PPM and resistivity. Focus on that C value. If they are okay, you can no filtration. Go next year, next year, next year. When you found at the same time, after 5, 6 years or 10 years, 2012, no, you should check CO, CO2 also now. The cellulose content, where the paper is now, time has also come now for you, the 11 years is over. So you can do a oil, front test also, okay, on that, whether there is any contamination of paper or any paper has it intact or not. So you can do now at this stage, you can do that test. But otherwise, normally PDV, PPM and resistivity, go ahead, don't bother. As long as they are okay. The moment they are not okay, so you filter the oil, okay, and then take on the value. QH is also very important. That's why I was telling in the morning, understanding the characteristics of oil is very important. Which value is important, what stage of the transform is also important. So my answer is to you this.
Actually, just only. I will tell you, just not to get the similar kind of queries, I am just adding one point to sir's. We are having, as per I am from OPDCL from utility side, and every utility must be having one SOP regarding the filtration of the transformer. Most important point I am adding over here. Some of the utilities sometimes also having more PPM, they used to go for filtration. Filtration and condition, two different way of taking in the transformer. One, if you are planning to go for filtration, before attending for filtration, please check the tan delta value of the transformer, the insulations what it is provided. The general tendency, the kind of moisture that gets deposited to the paper. Paper thing more kind of water, your tan delta value will be different. Sir correctly told, resistivity, tan delta, these are the parameters you have to consider for deciding whether you should go for filtration or conditioning. Let's to go for one example. Suppose your tan delta value is well maintained. That means it is been understood the moisture is not in the paper part, moisture is on the oil part, and that needs filtration. And that filtration also does not need the hot circulation. Your 12 KL machine or whatever the capacity is there, go for few, you will get the particularly oil water content lesser that. Suppose both of the value are of deterioration mode, then you go for conditioning. We may coming in the offline very correctly, I will tell you, but this is the things. Hope so also people they used to get it. This is the tendency what you go for in different utilities.
Hello. Hello.
See,
Hello.
As far as the oil is concerned, you will have to do corroborative. You have to look for corroborative evidence. For instance, if the tan delta is off, let's say it is not as per the specification, then you have to check whether it is corroborated by any polar impurities or fine dust taking place or settling down, or the acidity of the oil has gone up, or even the IFT, interfacial tension. That is another corroborative evidence. So these are all correlated. IFT, acidity, and the tan delta. All these values are correlated, and one has to find a corroborative evidence for the deterioration of the oil with respect to any of these properties by looking at all these three properties. Just don't go by just one property. You've got to look at all the three parameters and then take a view on that, whether the deterioration has really taken place or not.
Any more questions?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Mic, please. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Actually, no questions from the backside.
Hello.
Hello.
So backside
Hello.
engineers, at least to have some queries. Everyone has got some queries.
Hello. In between, there is a small announcement. Palak, one mic will be needed backside. We had given feedback forms. Some of the feedback forms are received. Our volunteer will pass by and kindly hand over your feedback forms. At the end of this session, we will have lucky draw. Also, there was another exercise which was given to you.
Hello.
Some people have filled it. So kindly hand over that exercise also to the volunteers. Question. We'll continue the session.
Hello. So, sir, actually we have achieved one system, one grade and one frequency. Still, we need that OLTC in the high voltage system, particularly in 765 grade and 400 kV grade system. Or is there any recommendation from the CEA for not to use OLTC in newer ICTs?
Question. You could not understand.
Sir, actually we have achieved that one grade, one frequency system. So still the use of OLTC is there, particularly in 400 and 765 kV system? Or is there any recommendation from CEA guideline to not to use OLTC in newer ICTs?
Actually, as per the CEA recommendation does not say that you should not use OLTC, or it is not also not stating that you should use OLTC. The option is left to the user, and the user needs to study the voltage profile of the transformer where it is being installed. So based on the system study, you can go for with OLTC or without OLTC. The choice is left to the users. Not the CEA is not defining whether it is required or not required.
Also, the reactive compensation of the line is taken in consideration in the transformer, and then you take a wise decision.
No, actually, I don't have that. CA has issued recently, in 2023, there is a para is written. I think you can give me your email ID. I will send you the PDF copy of that.
Okay,
so
sir.
Actually,
Okay.
CA and all the experts were sitting. I think Joshi was also part of that. So it has come out that these over a period of time, this 400 kV ICTs and 765, even after changing tab, they are not making any changes in the system. They are not changed. They hardly 1 kV and all that change, which is not much useful. So such debate has come into picture. So CA was in that manual was forced to record that. If you read the language of that, so they have said what he has said that they said they are actually tending towards not having OLTC. Let me tell you, the tendency of that write-up is that tendency not to have the OLTC, but at the same time, such a sudden decision cannot be taken. Okay, so they left it open. Okay, they left it open as per the utility or your choice to have OLTC or not. But let me tell you, NTPC. Anybody is here from NTPC? NTPC in their GT they have removed OLTC. Okay, offload tap changer is there. Okay. Even NHPC is telling.
One more thing, actually, the OLTC which is provided on a 765 kV by 400 kV ICT is vastly different from the OLTC which is there in 400 kV by 220 kV ICT. Please remember one thing, where exactly the tap changer is located. That plays a very critical role. The OLTC expert can tell about that. In case of 765 kV by 400 kV ICTs, the tap changer is located in the neutral. It is not located on the line end of 400 kV. Whereas in the case of 400 kV by 220 kV, though it is possible to provide the tap changer on the neutral, as per the specification which is prevailing in India, we are providing tap changer mostly on the line end of 220 kV. And that is where the challenge lies. So if we want to change it, transit to a tap changer on the neutral of a 400 kV by 220 kV, most of the challenges which the risk or whatever we call it, the apprehensions people have on the OLTC also can move away. This is my feeling, because we have seen that there are countries which are using ICTs of 400 kV by 220 kV with the tap changer on the neutral end.
Sir, myself Noor Ahmad from PGCL. Sir, we have 765 kV transformer. In that, while measuring CFT between core and frame, we are getting very low IR value, sir. Surface is dry, even though we have tried hot air blowing, some extra means we have tried a very lot, but IR value is not getting in
IR
terms
value
of
between
gigawatt.
what? IR value between?
Core and frame.
Oh, core and frame, okay.
What is the IR value you are getting?
We are in terms of 40 mega ohm.
Mega ohms is okay for CFT. Unless and until you are getting 0, you should not be worried about that. It's okay getting 40 megawatt, but something is happening. It's low. It's on the lower side, and you have to just do the trending. Nothing else here.
Actually, we have limits, madam, in power grid.
Yeah, I know that.
Yes.
I know it is 500 mega ohm. Actually, during the spec-in stages, we had recommended power grid to go for 50 mega ohm, but they insisted on 500 mega ohm. So, because we were able to get those values, some manufacturers were able to get it, some manufacturers were not able to get it. So, it's up to the power grid to decide, but 50 mega ohm is the international standard.
No, sir. Initially, we are getting in the range of 50 giga ohm.
What was the commissioning value of the same
2011.
ICT? No. What was the value at the commissioning time?
In the range of giga ohm, madam.
Giga ohm, and
Yes.
it has come to the mega ohm.
Yes,
so
yes.
definitely there is some issue. You have to identify what is the issue there.
What is the probable reason, madam?
Probable reason could be many. A lot of case studies are there. I can't discuss here right now. But yeah. If you have excessive moisture, it get accumulated on the surface, and if you have some hot spot in and around that, then you also have the lower mega ohms. Hot spot, partial, anything could happen. But yeah, it is deteriorating.
It's an insulation system, so a lot of components are there. It is very difficult to say this will be the exact reason for the low IR value between core and frame. So we need to investigate that, then only we can answer this query. And again, it depends on the age of the transformer also.
Is any reflection the DGA result you are getting, or DGA is
No,
okay?
DGA results are okay, madam. Acetylene values, all values are within limits.
That's a good sign that no such fault is there, and you have some gradual degradation, and you can capture like hotspot or some moisture migrations, some particle, anything can happen, but you have to keep in trending.
Okay.
Actually, I wanted to add with your queries what you have framed. First of all, you must be knowing that we are having core, tank and frame. So by that manner, tank and frame you are talking about, I think so. Right now, what is the value we are getting with the core and the other point? Core is all right.
Core to ground, frame to ground are getting in terms of giga ohms.
Oh, great. So in this regard, already I got it. In this regard, only one point I can say, you need not to worry upon it, because as your all other values relating to the DGA, relating to the tan delta, relating to the other values are not disturbing, you should not worry upon it. There might be the question of the number of the transformers getting off a sludge connections or some other, for where it is to be taken the second earth, we are exactly to pass it. There might be some kind of things, but in one aspect I can say, as it is of frame and a tank, so need not to worry upon.
Okay, sir. Hello.
This is not the.
No, his question was, Mr. Patnaik, you confused. His question was, his IR value is getting reduced between core and core clamps, and I believe he got the answer. There is no concrete answer to it. Any other question, please?
Yeah, sir. Hello. Here is sir. Sir, myself Anand Chaudhary from Power Grid. Actually, I have two questions. One is from SFRA and one is from Easter. First of all, I just want to know, can SFRA signature can be taken after the DC test? And if we are going to take the SFRA signature after DC test, what will be the actually difference between after AC and after DC. And I'm going to ask the second question also. Is there any special requirement for the filtration and processing of the ester oils, or we can process the ester oil from the normal filter machine, what we are using?
The first question already I answered yesterday. Again, I am repeating the same thing. Whether you do DC test or you magnetize your core and you take SFRA, it doesn't matter, because the low frequency zone where you are seeing the core, it doesn't matter core is magnetized or not. It is nothing having contribution in the assessment. So what you are having in parallel is the short circuit plot in the low frequency zone, and that is giving you a clear idea about the inductive part of the winding and the fault conditions. So let it be magnetized. You don't need to demagnetize and do a lot of exercise on that. Anytime you can take SFRA and compare, it will not give you any value addition to have such precautions.
So, is the second question? Is the second question about the ester oil maintenance? Right? The maintenance standard for ester oils, especially for the natural ester, has just come out about a year back. Whereas for the synthetic ester, it is still under preparation. Okay, but then, having said that, there are guidelines which are already available for synthetic ester also, based on the very old standard, which is not, which is about to expire now. So, all in all, I think when it comes to natural ester, the filtration requirement, it is known that it does not form any sludge over a period of time. Normally, why mineral oil requires frequent filtration is that there is a sludge formation over a period of time, especially with uninhibited mineral oils. So the same thing, a lot of comparisons have been made in the laboratory, looking at long-term stability of natural ester, synthetic esters under accelerated aging conditions over 3,000 hours, 4,000 hours at about 100 degrees centigrade. And it was found that there is hardly any sludge formation. So the expectation is that although there is not much experience in the field, if you're talking about the field experience, we still don't have that much experience in terms of numbers. The mineral oil, we have experience over lakhs or maybe millions of transformers in the field. But whereas for esters, we are talking about still tens of thousands of ester field transformers. So as far as the present practices go, there has been very little requirement of filtration for ester oils.
Actually, sir, I was asking that is there any special requirement to prepare a new ester oil, like as we are going to prepare a mineral oil in normal filter machine. So is there any special requirement of the filter machine to prepare a new ester oil before filling?
You can use the same filter machine, but
that's I'm asking actually. The same filters can be used, or is there any special filter required?
I have a question here.
Hello.
I have a question to Savita. It's a very basic question. Can I ask? Yeah.
Yes, madam.
Yeah. Suppose you have a filter machine you are using for paraffinic naphthalene based oil, and the same filter machine reaches and do the filtration of ester based oil. Is any chemical reaction or any kind of mistake we can do, or we could avoid, or same thing is there is no precaution, it is well adopted that same filter machine without any chemical treatment or anything could be utilized for the ester based oil filtration? So that clarification I require, that's all.
Yes, same machine can be used, only you have to flush the machine initially with the either natural ester. If you are filtering the natural ester, you have to flush the machine. Sometimes what happens generally the filter machines are used for the mineral oil, so the oil is preserved in the sump. Yeah. So you have to ensure that the entire oil is drained, mineral oil. though the mineral oil is miscible with the any ester, means natural as well as synthetic ester, it will not affect any performance of the oil with the small quantity if it is mixed. But only suppose if you are exclusively using with the ester, any filter machine, you have to ensure that the cartridge, you have to change the cartridge.
Yeah.
Because that's all. That is the care you have to take.
Cartridge
Nothing
and
else.
flushing, yeah.
Yes, cartridge, your cartridge.
That is
filter
what I
cartridge.
think that gentleman was
Yes,
asking.
yes.
That
So
what is the difference?
existing,
Yeah.
your existing machines can be used. No separate machines are required. Only you have to change the cartridge. And before filtering the, before the start of a filter, you have to flush the oil. Take out the some oil, flush the machine, and you can filter the oil, ester oil. That is simple. No special
whole,
arrangements
the
required.
whole process is to check there is no mix-up. That's all.
Yes, and you have to ensure the vacuum basically is very important for the ester. Even in any machine, no. Generally, people look for the only the speed of a machine, other things. You have to ensure that okay, vacuum is proper actually. So it will do the good filtration. So you should focus on the vacuum meter also.
Myself, Manish Pandya, sir. My question is to...
Pandyaji, just
Yeah,
1 minute.
please,
I'm not just giving any kind of addition. Only one information I'm sharing. Yesterday, the question which we right now discussed, the reply and all these things, it was asked by 5 members. So all the 5 members sitting over here might have got the answer regarding the filtration and the vacuumization, how the way to get a top-up of all these things, and mix-up of mineral oil with ester oil. So all these replies already answered by Jagdal Sahab.
My question is, Dr. Narasimhan has tomorrow discussed that multiplying factor regarding the ppm in the oil. Whenever the oil temperature changes, the same oil shows the different ppm value, and he was discussing that there should be some multiplying factor to be taken into account. So is there any multiplying factor which needs to be taken into account while the reading of ppm of oil? And another question, say one guy was telling that up to 7% mix is allowed. So my question is that whenever we do the DGA testing for the mixed oil, is there any caution taken care to be that whether this much percentage is added, so now reading is to be analyzed in that way or this way?
Your answer is, I don't know, your question with reference to second question with reference to mineral oil? In mineral oil is already established and is many places available that miscibility is allowed. You are talking about mineral oil, two make or two different naphthenic, paraffinic, you are talking that? What is mixing your question? Ester with mineral.
My question, one question is what, that Dr. Narasimhan is discussing, that when we read the ppm value of the oil, the temperature is also a criteria. So is there any multiplying factor for the temperature when we read the ppm value of the oil? That is the one question.
Ester oil.
Ester oil. It is for the ester oil.
Got it.
And then another question is that the 7%, up to 7%, the one guy was discussing that 7% mixture is allowed of mineral oil in ester oil. But then is there any caution should be taken care during the reading of DGA value of ester? When we deal with the mixture oil, so in future this will happen when we take the DGA value of mixture oil for the ester. So should we take into account or should we note down that there is a mixture of 7% or 6%? Is there?
Well, no, you see, it is like this. The first question, let me answer first. See, you are talking about temperature correction. I think you are referring to temperature correction when we measure the measure ppm of moisture in oil, in mineral oil or ester oil. This temperature correction applies to both. The temperature correction actually it means that if you are sampling a temperature at let's say 70 degrees, when the transformer is operating at 70 degrees and the sampling temperature is 70 degrees. So whereas you are measuring the moisture at room temperature. So that temperature correction is what needs to be applied. Otherwise, it will give you a wrong indication. I have given one case study where such a if you don't apply temperature correction, what happens? One can get an alarming, a false alarm. Basically, it can lead to false alarm in the case of mineral oil, or it can happen even for ester oils if the temperature correction is not applied. In fact, temperature corrections are available for mineral oil in the IEC standard itself, and for ester oils also the temperature correction factors are available based on the solubility curves of moisture in oil. So those standard solubility curves are available for each oil, and using that we can apply the temperature correction. The second question was about 7% mixing up of mineral oil and ester oil. So under those conditions, what happens to ppm, right? DGA. So DGA, see, now if you look at the DGA considerations for mineral oil and ester oil are more or less similar, except that the fault gases are formed at a slightly different temperature. So those temperatures are well defined for ester oil under what conditions. For instance, if you are talking about, let's say, ethylene, okay, for mineral oil, ethylene is produced under certain conditions, okay, maybe 250 or 300 degrees or whatever. So for the case of ester oil, it would be slightly at a higher temperature. But then the significance of ethylene remains the same. The significance of acetylene will remain the same. The methane to hydrogen ratio, those significance of those ratios also will remain the same, whether it is ester oil or mineral oil. So, but the temperatures will be different, and the significances of the gases will remain the same. So the 7% mixing up of mineral oil into ester oil is not going to make any big difference to the interpretations, because 7%, the nature of gases and the interpretations are similar, number one, and the 7% is not going to greatly change your the temperatures at which the gases are produced. The main effect of 7% contamination of mineral oil in ester oil will be on the fire point. Other than that, there's nothing else.
Yeah. Hello. So
Fire point. Yeah, fire point.
excuse me. One more thing, actually, you said it is
Any
allowed.
precaution is required.
There is nothing called as allowed. See, in the retrofilling,
When you are
since we
mixing.
cannot remove entire mineral oil, so the question is about maintaining its fire point above 300. So as much mineral oil get mixed with the natural ester, its fire point will come down. So it is proportionately that figure has, that percentage has we have arrived. So I mean, there is nothing called as allowing and all that. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Nilesh Amlekar. I am working with MSc TCL. I want to know about voltage magnification. As a MSc TCL, we are going to propose a 220 kV level capacitor bank. I want to know about the voltage magnification.
You want to ask voltage magnification? I don't know this question.
Is there any changes about the transformer protection when we are going to propose capacitor bank at 220 kV levels?
Okay, this is an open session, and you need not to look at them as the expert. Of course, they are expert. The question can be answered anyone from the audience. That's the reason we have an open session. So anyone feels that he is a subject expert in this matter, he can take up this question if Dias is not able to reply. No, he was trying to say.
Actually, question is not clear.
He says they are using a capacitor bank for voltage magnification, and if that is the situation, is there any change in the transformer or protection system? Correct, if I am not wrong. Yes, they are from MSCTCL. Anyone from Transco who has a similar situation? Maybe PGCL?
We can
you have
reply.
answer? Oh, wait. He has answer, I believe. Oh, he has a question, sorry.
So first of all, I am going to reply this particular query. Let me to come to a very basic way of receiving the answers from our side, and while asking the question also. Very simple. Protection, such kind of things, it is not going to make a change if in case you are doing anything on the transformer side or whatever the way you are doing so. Rather than if it is been found of extra addition of impedances or network and all, you can go for like a coordination of the protections. An example I am talking about, suppose a transformer is there, next moment you are planning to have more number of transformers and all. During that time, the same protections what it is there with your system, that is to be kept over, and you have to make a changeover as far as the coordination is concerned. So dear friend, the one which you have asked, if you are keeping voltage correction, any kind of capacitor bank, so for capacitor bank, the capacitor unit which you are giving, you have to give the kind of protections there, like neutral displacement, like some other. But in the particular transformer or a particular network or particular feeder, there is no need to give any kind of protections. You can go for change of the setting as it is demanded because of addition of the capacitors.
Hello.
I think, hello. The interest of people has been really keeping us involved. Nobody is looking at the watch. We have already crossed the time limit what we had for today. But okay, so maybe a couple of last questions, and then we'll try to summarize. Please, sir.
Myself, Ganesh Mohite from Region Infrastructure. My question is regarding the process of the oil filtration of power transformer, which is the good practice for doing the oil filtration, that is by arranging the external tank or same tank, that is transformer's main tank.
Actually, I'm not going to reply, but this book, it has already been mentioned over, the kind of a SOP. Please go through that. Still also, as Sari is just raising
what are the reasons for, if there is external or if in same tank, what are the reasons? If we go for the external tank, then what are the reasons?
What is the purpose of your oil filtration? It's a routine maintenance practice you are doing oil filtration? Or it's something that you're trying to dry out the transformer or some kind of sludging you want to, what is the activity you want to do? Routine oil filtration?
No, routine oil filtration in the base of the
if
DJ,
there is no fault, you're doing routine oil filtration, let it be through tank.
Recently, we got one incident that we have done the in external tank oil filtration and fill up the oil. And
if you are trying to remove moisture from the transformer, then it's a different story. You drain out the oil, take separately and do the vacuum process. That's a different process. But if you are doing routine through tank, it's okay. That is my sir can add something. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. No, actually, I don't know. I'll answer you in two parts. First is new transformer commissioning, and one is ongoing transformer, running transformer filtration. Which one you are asking? Running. Okay. When it is okay. Hello. When it is a running transformer, okay. So what is the purpose? You must know the purpose of this thing first. That your purpose is that based on oil characteristics you have measured. So what you found? It depends on that. You found, suppose you found the
actually we face the problem that we have done the DGA test. Actually, due to the tripping, Buchholz relay tripping, we have done the DGA test, and after DGA test, the suggestion is that go for the oil filtration, and we have done the oil filtration with the arranging the external tank, and
wait. So it means you got a DGA value higher.
Yes.
So did you investigate the transformer by
yes.
Okay. Yes. So
after
during
filtration.
the period, so now my suggestion is two types. One is that when you have taken out the oil, definitely you have taken out the oil, person has gone inside the transformer tank.
Yes.
If you have a tank in your utility, please filter it. Because that is the time available to you. What is wrong in that? You have filter machine, you have a tank. So filter it. That's one point. Second, if you don't have that facility of this, it is only DGA, no sludge, nothing, but there was no other problem. So you rectified the transformer, then you filter it. But before that, please create a vacuum. See, you have to follow the process. I mean, just filtration is not a question here. Question is a complete path. So please create a vacuum, okay? Then I will suggest you put a nitrogen purging or dryer purging, okay, for some time. Again, you remove it, right? And then when you remove it, create vacuum, okay, then you filter the oil under vacuum. Then you filter the oil. That is a complete, just asking that if you should filter or not. There are other things which you have to follow. If you do that, then your answer that then you filter it within the transformer. It's okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. Actually, the problem was that after filtration, all these procedures you have told that all procedures we have done, and oh, transformer was stripped down Buckles relay. Then we charge the transformer after degassing, and after that and 24 hours. After the 24 hours, again it's stripped. So we check the DGA, and after DGA we found the acetylene gas more. So we go for the filtration process. We filtered in external tank as per you have to. After that, when we fill up the oil, then after 8 hours we observed some cracks and seepage.
No, his question was different. A lot of confusion. His question is, he did an external tank filtration using the external tank, and after they refill the oil into the main tank, there were cracks in the transformer. Is that your question? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, as he said, if you follow the process of vacuum and pressure, and if your tank is weak and it is cracking, then needs to be investigated before taking this step. Sorry.
हेलो सर, आई एम द एम के सराफ सर फ्रॉम द बार्क जो है, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है कि ट्रांसफार्मर का मेंटेनेंस पीआई वैल्यू का कुछ मत सिग्निफिकेंट है, बिकॉज इन अवर ट्रांसफार्मर ये जनरली वी आर मेंटेनिंग फ्रॉम द लास्ट 40 years एंड एवरी ईयर वी आर डूइंग द पीएम, but from the last 2-3 years we are showing in the LT side the PI value we are meeting the less than 1. So what may be the reason जो है? Generally the PI value is always should be more than 1 जो है. So there is any significant of maintenance of transformer?
Actually, I'm just going to reply your point. First of all, whenever the transformer total geometry you just feel the kind of winding all, if it is a star connected winding having one neutral, then there might be an issue. The neutral interconnection point, some of the few sludges or some of the few terminals are being in deteriorated mode. So for which your transformer still width of is less than 1. So in this consideration, what you have to do, you have to go for one neutral integrity test. I will be coming to you in the offline. I cannot exactly explain to you. Pen and paper is required. So neutral integrity test, first of all you do it. If you found neutral integrity test is okay, then need not to worry about the the PI value of less than 1. That means it is been concluded that the kind of lesser one is happening at the neutral end, which is of having of a lesser voltage during the time of operational point.
Okay. So there is a question from the gentleman, and then we really need to sum up. It's 5:45 now, and we can keep on interacting with the people, but we have to stay back here only. So we will look something into way forward, please.
Yeah, it's not exactly a question. I will first thank all the delegates and the sponsors for this event. I have been myself Arun Kumar Raghunathan. I am area sales manager from Hafle. So
yeah, but what is the question? This is a question and answer session. We take your introduction later, sir.
The question is, actually I heard a lot of people I was discussing. So there is a lot of confusion with respect to Hafle and TETEX. So Hafle and TETEX both are the same company.
Okay, that we take up later, sir. So is there any question?
Yeah,
No, don't advertise yourself. Is there any question?
No, there's one question. Lot of people were asking about dynamic resistance. So we have a test kit which can measure the...
Is there any question for dynamic resistance kit? No, sir, that is not there. We'll take it later.
Sir, I am taking an interruption.
No, wait.
Just wait. Sir is just taking. So please have one standing ovation to sir because he just managed of taking all the away coming over here. For him, the total one is of a success. Because of his flight, he is just going to leave. So thank you, sir.
Thank you
for
so
being
much.
with us.
Okay, just one group photograph, and then. Sir, you please also. अभी उनको पकड़ लीजिए ना, उधर है बैठे हुए। हाँ, आप आइए ना, हम नहीं, बट अभी पूछ लीजिए अभी उनसे बैठ के। नहीं, okay. Thank you, Negi sir. The other members, please continue. Thank you, Negi sir. We have to be penalized.
We'll continue.
No, you will have to pay penalty. So for another 15 minutes.
So this is not a caution, but just one information that I want to share with my utility friends. So there have been a lot of.
Please be seated for another 5 minutes, gentlemen. Please be seated for 5 minutes. We are having a closure session. Please, sir.
So there have been a lot of discussion on ester retrofilling, and many utilities, I believe, they have taken the ester retrofilling of their transformers. So if we refer to the new capex regulation, so there's an opportunity that we can capitalize this activity. Probably our utility friends, they must have booked in R&M, and that can be capitalized. So we have prepared a white paper that we have presented to our auditors as well as to regulators. And you can have many references in IS 2026, whereas there is a separate annexure for how the life extension is with ester. So probably the R&M expenses you can capitalize. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. So now it's I'll hold here because it's really time consuming. Now what I want to take from here is this session is not going to end another 2-3 hours. There are a lot of interesting questions, and I'm really sorry we have to cut short. Now I have a question to the audience. If this is the way we want to have interactive session, and if you people feel the Trafo Care is the right forum and right platform to exchange knowledge and thoughts, so is there any suggestion from your side that what should be the way forward for Trafo Care? Okay. Oh, gentleman has some suggestion. Sir, now no question, it's a suggestion.
Sir, the contents are, the contents which were included were much more. I request you to curtail that content to some extent so that experts can have their view elaborately. Because most of the eminent experts didn't got the time to express themselves. Madam has a very wonderful presentation, but she has no time. And it was interesting, madam. Thank you very much. Also, Mr. Sir. Pramod Rao sir and Rajamani sir. But these eminent speakers didn't found the time, sir.
Okay, so one of the suggestion is cut down on the presentation and more interactive so that you people can really talk to the experts than just going into the specification. Any other suggestion, sir?
Sir, actually the presentation need not to be cut actually. There are the eminent faculties who are ready to express their experience. Lots of experience are available with us actually. But we don't have time to listen them carefully.
Maybe time management and maybe Trafo Care can be extended to 3 days program. Okay. So let's look into whether we can afford to have 3 days. We means all the delegates can afford to spare their time here for this. Just imagine 200 or 300 people getting together here and investing their salary, their time, their efforts in this location, leaving their all other priorities aside is a huge cost. So if really we have to do, we can think of having 3 days. So that's one suggestion. Any other, sir? Anything else? Okay, Ashwini sir has something. Can someone find our mic? Yeah.
Yeah, I have put that in my suggestions also. We can involve a few people from academia.
Academia involvement. Oh, fantastic. Yes, yes. Agreed, sir. Agree. Wonderful suggestion. Anything else?
Hello. Rajaram. See, we instead of presentations, no, we can do more case studies actually. See, looking at the crowd. So if we go for more case studies, no, or if you can allocate some time for case studies based upon the field experience, so that I think that will add values. So that is my suggestion from my side.
Perfect. Wonderful, sir. Perfect.
I think we can select different topics and then request to the speakers to speak on them. And then we can club them in one session, one kind of the test object. So it will be easy for everyone to understand. And that's also, it is also help to, navigate the discussions in much better way. Otherwise, what exactly happening, somebody talking about the OLTC and somebody talking about the transformer and somebody talking about something else, it's not easy for the navigations actually.
We had a similar suggestion from gentlemen, which we also discussed yesterday, that the Q&A session has to be after individuals' presentation so that people talk relevant. That's a good suggestion. We take it forward. Yep.
Can I take a poll? Should we have an open house for question and answer session, or every presentation should have a follow-up question and answer session? So open house separately, or question answer after the presentation. So.
Okay, wait. How many are in favor of having question and answer after the presentation? Please raise the hand. Okay. Now, how many people who feel that Q&A session has to be elaborate separately than the presentation? Okay. You got the answer. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Any other suggestion? Yes, sir. Suggestion. Now, no question.
I request the forum to come forward once in a month, but it requires hundreds of numbers in a single day. So think on that view. I am from manufacturer's point of view. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Understand. Mr. Ashwini actually throw a lot of lights on that subject, but somehow it got missed. Okay, so that's one of the suggestions, that it can have focus on DT, right?
I have a suggestion, because most of the participants are end user, and probably they come with some or other problem in mind or doubt in mind. If we can have an arrangement where, along with the registration, if they have any specific pressing inquiry, they share it in advance. Whether that gets discussed here or not, but the organizers, through the respective faculty, can ensure that within 3 days of the end of this program, that answer is shared to them.
To complement,
okay.
the live case gentleman was discussing, we are not able to understand. If we give in written and we discuss after having the background, it will be very fruitful. Yeah, very good suggestion.
Yeah, fantastic. In fact, I made a mistake, I would say. I don't want to blame on anyone. When I started the program, I was trying to say, what is your expectation in these 2 days? My understanding behind that question is, if anybody has expectation that I came with 10 questions and this is the question list I need to be answered. Somebody says, I come up with the 10 problems which I'm facing day-to-day life from the power sector, and these are the answers or some solutions I am looking for. Maybe this is one suggestion. We take it, we'll collate and we'll try to say, if someone sends the replies, someone sends the questions and some case studies before, we can discuss. Any other things, sir?
Yeah, actually, I have got, of course, we are allowed, of course, right now.
Oh, yeah, you are allowed to give suggestion.
Actually, I will tell you one thing. There is another kind of format which may be agreed by everyone, what I hope so, expecting everyone to get agree. The format is called the people, those are there interested to put the paper with the organizing team. You have to extend those things in bit advance, and all your papers will be read out and also will be studied and reviewed. Finally, there will be formation of one base paper. BASE, base paper, not best paper. On that of a base paper, what are those things are common, need not to take it once again. There will be only 10 minutes of presentation by the rapporteur, means who has reviewed and gone through all, will be just extending to the floor that these are the things to be covered by different authors. So authors will be there off the dais or probably on the dais. Rapporteur will be there and he or she will be presenting the house that these are the things to be covered within a nutshell of 10 minutes. Total the session, if it is of 1 hour, so you will be getting total 50 minutes of knowing about it, and you can ask those queries, and the authors sitting over, these are the experts, they will be answering your queries. So in this case, it will be one of the interactive session. Then there will be one audio visual, means all these things are now getting recorded. There will be number of the way from the organizing team, of the dais rapporteurs, they will go on listening all those things. At the end, those people, they will be going through and will prepare one concluding paper. That means all the 2 days, what are those is being discussed, how like discussed, and what should be the takeaway, that will be prepared one concluding paper. And that concluding paper to be distributed each and every participants attending over here. Then only we can exactly feel that something we did for the participants in the way of attending and taking their views. So in these practices, what happens? People will be off the dais, means you people are actually the way who will run the show. You will be interacting, discussing, and finally coming to the point and taking that one takeaway. If this format is okay, of course, this is my request. I cannot exactly say so. This is one kind of suggestions. We have already tried such kind of suggestions. It is working very perfectly. People are also double happy of getting something. If it is correct, then it may be taken up once in the Trafo care.
Okay, thank you. Right, so now, I have a separate question. I share 2 examples. One of the example is when I participate in a SIGRE, I am presenting a paper. I am also having a poster session. But do you know how much fees I pay just to attend SIGRE? Not less than 48,000 Indian rupees. Just to participate, even though I am a presenter, even though I am a poster session, I am having 2 sessions, but still I have to pay. The second example I give is, let's say ICDL, International Conference for Dielectric Liquids. There, even though I am one of the organizing committee member, one of the paper presenter, but when I am going to participate in that, I pay a fees of not less than 33,000 rupees. I mean, I'm just trying to equivalent conversion against the US dollar or euros. So for Trafo care, just believe me, we are seeing from different angle. For Trafo care, such an immense of knowledge, such an immense of expertise is available here. And if we want to make this really, I take you all to one of my slide about 3P. So people, planet, and profits. Profit doesn't mean hefty profits, but basic cost to be recovered. So do you have any other suggestion which can make this more and more commercial viable, and it will be really some international brand where we can take it to the next level?
Sir.
Wait a moment, sir. Yeah. Joshi sir has some suggestion.
Actually, I will say we are sorry that we could not take the concept of workshop, or rather the difference between the workshop and the conference to you people, or rather to the presenters. What happened that we have been said that you have to present your thought by 5 minutes, and you have to set a context on that subject or that product or that issue, and remaining time would be the questions and the problems we have to hear and we have to answer. Here we could not do that thing, but really in the genesis of this workshop, this is the idea we have to follow or we have to implement. It can be a collection of the issues and which will be replied by the experts on the dais or the off the dais. Right? Thank you.
Sir.
So thank you, Joshi sir. This is the last question, sir, because of time.
Thank you,
yeah. Otherwise, they will again switch off the AC and we have to be in a sweating mood.
बहुत क्वेश्चन मैंने पूछे हैं, अभी लास्ट सजेशन दे देता हूँ.
Oh, thank you, sir.
सजेशन तो साहब ने भी दिया, पटनायक साहब ने और जोशी साहब ने, वो दोनों का मिला के मेरा था, वो दोनों मेरे मन की बात पड़ गए. मैं वही बोलना चाहता था कि जो भी प्रेजेंटर है, उनके पास से अगर प्रेजेंटेशन कलेक्ट करके और क्वेश्चन कलेक्ट करके उनकी एक समरी, प्रेजेंटेशन के बाद में क्वेश्चन आंसर, और उसकी अगर एक बुकलेट मिलती है और वो बुकलेट अगर ट्राफो केयर के माध्यम से अगर बाजार में भी जाती है या जो भी लोग इधर पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं उनको भी मिलती है, तो इट विल बी अ वेरी वैल्यू एडिशन। कोई भी प्रॉब्लम का प्रेजेंटेशन है और उसके साथ उसके क्वेश्चन आंसर है, तो बहुत सारे जो प्रॉब्लम डे टू डे बेसिस में हमको फेस हो रहे हैं ना, उनके रेडीली आंसर बुक में अवेलेबल रहेंगे। और वो हर ट्रैफो केयर की जो एक बुकलेट होगी लाइक ए ईमा, तो वो एक हमारे पास शोकेस में भी रहेगी कि ये ट्रैफो केयर में ये प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन था।
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we can take it that. So we already have a recording of this one. So we'll try to sit on that and really do some work so that it can be compressed and available, and then we'll look into that. Thank you. Thank you. So with this all discussion, interactive session, and sir, you can now please have your seat. And so many suggestions. The forum has come to the conclusion now. And the conclusion is end of the day. So what is the end of the day? No, hold on. Claps to be hold on for some more time. So what is the end of the day? As you all know, that third part of the P, profit. So we cannot exist without money, and to have that money we need some sponsors. And I should thank on behalf of team Trafo Care, from bottom of my heart to all the sponsors. I like to read them before I really close. So we have a platinum sponsorer, Yash High Voltage. So far you have seen the interactive session with lot of team. Then Savita, we already spoke so many things about the Easter. Then I request our founder of this association to hand over the token of appreciation to Mr. Sanjay Vyas. Vyas sir, please. As I said, the forum is full of Sanjay, so there are so many Sanjay today. After Mahabharata, you will find only all Sanjays here. Thank you. Thank you, Yash team. Then we also had really a fantastic day and time. So again, another platinum sponsor we said, Savita, but we already given you one of the token. Yeah. Then we have strong connect and association. Some of the people already left. Say, my friend Raul is already there. So the team is from Dobal. So I request entire team of Dobal to come forward. We are sorry, we wanted to do in presence of Simon Ryder, but he left early because of his flight schedule. Yeah, Mr. Raul, please. Raul, please correct me if I am pronouncing correctly. Oh, Rule. Oh, okay, Rule. Yeah. Ru. Okay. Lot of H behind it. So, okay. Ruhul. Yeah, Ruhul. That's Ruhul. Thank you so much. Then, okay, our friend Sanjay can just stand there. Sanjay? Oh, there's so many Sanjay. So, SM, Sanjay left. Oh, no, he's given. He can just stand there so that, oh, okay, he's there. So, thank you so much. And if you really want to have Don Shabda, you are allowed to have. So, all right. But let's leave it to you. Okay, then we have gold sponsorer, and where is Potni sir? Okay, so gold sponsorer from Azan MR, and we had a really good interactive session. He really saved us because of the skipping the presentation and directly moving to the question and answer session. Then Polywater, even though they are a sponsorer, but the poor guys are not only the sponsors, but they were running behind the show on back office, doing every small things. Really big salute to Polywater. Thank you team. Then Lakshmi Associates, so as usual, she was a strong woman to fight alone the battle with all male-dominated power system. So thank you, madam. Thank you so much. Then TT, yeah. So then we have a leak expert. We already met them, and we also have another Trafo Care whom I introduced, and there was also one more company which is not known, Prayog Electricals. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your sponsorship, your time, and your passion. And day would not be over without thanking all the team which was working behind the curtain to make it successful. The entire logistic team, entire digital team, the IT team supporting continuously for every small nitty-gritty. In fact, we had a small issue with the internet connection, but the way both the girls managed with the lightning speed is salute to you, madam. Thank you so much. You did a fantastic job. You know, otherwise we were worried. Amandeep was sitting there and a team from Power Grid doesn't want to invest and waste their time into that delays. So thank you so much for the entire team. And a team who provided us this place, even though it's a chargeable, but the entire Nesco team who provided us this space, the food arrangement, and in between whatever required, soft drinks, cold drinks, water. So thank you everyone. And if at all I left anyone, except cameraman, and anyone if I left, please excuse me for that. And the team cameraman and the entire shooting team did a fantastic job, wonderful job. And last but not the least, there is a reason for us to be together here, and that's because of two stalwarts, I would say at this moment. Pardon me if I have used the wrong word, but the two stalwarts who really united us and brought us in a single group. So big thank you to Jagdish and Mr. Joshi, YV Joshi. You won't imagine how much efforts and time they said. So it should be a big claps. It should make a noise. So Jagdish, thank you so much. Thank you, Joshi Sahab. And thank you for me to be having opportunity to interact with all of you. I thought there is no way, and let me speak something. Thank you so much. I hand it over to the Sanjay.
Yeah. Good evening to everyone. It's there's beautiful samosa outside, and some garam bhajiyas. I wanted to thank Rajaram for this coordinating this entire event. And on behalf of the knowledge clusters, SM Systems, my all sponsors, I really thank and appreciate all the visitors, delegates who have come to us long away with the expectations to learn. We would appreciate, we have got a lot of feedback, and we would take it forward. We will ensure that every delegate's answers, queries are been replied, and let's add value to the system. A lot of things are going across the nation. I would request the active participation for reducing the faults in the transformers as the engineers, and see how we can restore more transformers at a healthy conditions. This is my genuine request from all the sponsors. Thank you once again, Rajaram, and thanks the entire K Cluster team. Thank you.
We will have a lucky draw session on the feedback forms. Quickly, very fast, I request Mr. Praveen to do the same thing. In the meantime, thank you very much for coming all the way from different parts of the country and making Trafo Care successful. Thank you very much. And we will have our next Trafo Care in the winter of 2025 in the different corner of the country. Now we were in west, so depending on the decision of the organizing committee, either in north or east or south, next winter we will have Trafo Care in that part of the country. My one question, after how many years we should come back to Mumbai? 2 years or 4? All right. 2 years, okay. Thank you.
लकी ड्रॉ सर शुरू करें जी। वो जो मेरे पास बॉल थी वो खाली हो गई, अब नई चीज आ गई है मैडम प्लीज। तो फीडबैक लकी ड्रॉ सर नाम चेंज हो गया, तो फिर आपसे शुरू करते हैं कि अभी सर एक जल्दी फास्ट 3 लोगों का निकालिए सर। अगर 3 का नहीं निकला तो इस बार आपको पक्का मिलेगा, क्योंकि बहुत से लोग जा चुके हैं, प्रोबेबिलिटी आपकी बढ़ गई है जी। ये 3 लोग होंगे तब इनका, नहीं तो वो आपका जी। पहले नाम पढ़िए ना सर, आपका नहीं है नाम।
अमर जी,
अमर अमर डी निथवान MSTCL नहीं सर, नेक्स्ट नेम
प्रमोद बी दीव
दिवे
दिवे
दिवे साहब हैं क्या? तो अभी आएंगे क्या? आएंगे सर, सर आएंगे, आपका फिर छूट गया। हाँ सर, एक नाम और बचा हुआ है,
मिस्टर अक्षय गायकवाड
अरे बसलेले आहे या पुढे या. साहेब ते आले की त्यांना बुलावून घे. जी आइए सर, आगे प्लीज. सर मैडम, हाँ वहाँ लगी हैं जी. सर नाम पढ़िए ना प्लीज. सचिन MSTCL से. सचिन जी है सर? नहीं, ओके. ईरम पत्थरवाल नहीं है. हिमेन सोरथिया टाटा पावर है क्या? ओके सर, आइए प्लीज. सर प्लीज आप लोग आगे आके चलें. आइए मैडम, आइए आइए, आगे आइए प्लीज. तालियां तो बजनी चाहिए. जी जी, ये किनका है? निकल चुका है क्या? हाँ निकल चुका है. हाँ हाँ, वहां से निकलवाइए जी. सर प्लीज.
हर्चर्ड पी.
अर्जेंट पी.
हर्चर्ड पी.
अरे वाह सर, आइए. नेक्स्ट.
अभिषेक गुप्ता. यस, हाई वोल्टेज.
तो बुलाइए जल्दी, नहीं तो चला जाएगा. आएंगे अंदर. अंदर नहीं आएंगे, मिस हो गया सर.
Last one, no name is there. Tata Power only.
टाटा पावर मतलब कोई नहीं है, नाम नहीं है. तो सर मेरे पास में जो बॉल पड़ी हुई है उसमें एक नाम बचा हुआ है. एक नाम बचा हुआ है, इसको कोई निकाल सकते हैं क्या सर? सर प्लीज ये नाम आप निकालिए, बहुत खास है.
Okay. So it is really interesting. Current and voltage. You just guess one company's name is been started with of that. Current and voltage. So the concerned company is of that one. So great. So this is volt amp. Volt amp transformer, Binay B. Jani. Assistant General Manager, please come up to the way, and you should come up with a very galloping way. It's not the way of coming down here because you are being selected. Great, great. Okay.
Maybe I request Ashwini sir to have, please present a gift to the lucky winners. Ashwini sir, please. अरे यार ताली तो बजाओ, इतने सारे लकी लोग आए हुए हैं. Done. Thank you. One group picture, please. Sir, one group picture, please.
सर इस ग्रुप पिक्चर में मेरे को होना चाहिए.
अरे बिल्कुल क्यों नहीं सर. All right, then this brings to the end of the day. People can have a wonderful journey back to their home. Thank you so much and bye-bye. Now, the team Trafo Care, please come for the group picture. Entire team Trafo Care. Jagdish. अभी सबको फोटो चाहिए एंटायर ट्रैफो केयर टीम ओके सर नॉलेज क्लस्टर ट्रैफो केयर टीम प्लीज कम फॉरवर्ड ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमिटी टेक्निकल कमिटी द इवेंट कमिटी यस प्लीज वेयर इज जगदीश